Hey mates, just Matt jumping in here to let you know that I'm coming to the UK for a tour this September 2025. I'm coming to Edinburgh, Cambridge. It's our first ever show there. Birmingham, Manchester, Swansea, first ever Wales show, and London. I'm going to be doing my show Bad Boy, as well as a live Who Knew It with Matt Stewart in each of those places. Cannot wait. So pumped up. And also, while I've got you, our recent 500th episode, which we recorded live at the Capitol Theatre, that is now available to watch on our YouTube channel. So just head over to our YouTube channel, Do Go On Pod, and check out all 3 episodes there. A whole lot of fun. And yes, grab tickets to Bad Boy and Who Knew It in the UK at mattstewartcomedy.com. Anyway, let's get on with the show.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
BetterHelp Online Therapy bought this 30-second ad to remind you right now, wherever you are, to unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, take a deep breath in and out. Feels better, right? That's 15 seconds of self-care. Imagine what you could do with more. Visit betterhelp.com/randompodcast for 10% off your first month of therapy. No pressure, just help. But for now, just relax.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnocky, and as always, I'm here with Matt Stewart and Jess Perkins.
I'm over here.
I think that's pretty good. I'm here.
I like it. I think I also like it. Have we ever restarted an episode because Dave stuffed it up? I don't think we ever have.
My God,
And I think
500
that
times.
shows.
There it is. There it is.
I think we just proved that. We just don't.
We just don't. He has an astronomical fuck up, and we
Yes.
just keep plowing on.
Dave doesn't
I've been
have
thinking about that for hours.
rear view mirrors on his car.
Yeah.
He taped them over.
Yeah.
He doesn't look back.
Doesn't look back.
It's so bad for parking. It's really
But
dangerous.
he kind of vibes it.
Yeah, I do it by feel.
Yeah.
How am I doing back there?
Yeah. You feel the other cars, don't you?
Yeah.
Some do touch parking. You do more like nudge parking.
Yeah, no, there's the reason I've got a big tow bar.
Little nudge. But yeah. You
Yeah.
create damage wherever you park.
Yeah. Yeah.
I make room.
Small man, big toe bar.
I am compensating.
But hi, Dave. What a treat to be here on this podcast.
So great to be here.
So good to be back. I think I missed maybe the last couple of weeks, depending on when they come out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was away. But now I'm back. What did you say to the listeners? Did you tell them the truth, or did you make up a polite excuse for me?
I'll be completely honest with you. I have forgotten. But I'm also fairly confident it was a bit of column A, bit of column B.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Or you just didn't even mention it.
Yeah.
No, we mentioned it. I think
we thought people wouldn't notice.
I think we alluded to the fact that you were dead or missing, you know,
Yeah.
the classic gag. And then I think at one point I did say, he's on roadshow.
Okay.
He's doing some shows. He's away. Because I got bored of my own joke, you know?
Yeah.
As I do.
Bit much to claim that as your own joke. I think that started when you were away.
Okay, I got bored of the joke I was doing at the time. Jesus fucking Christ. I missed this tedium.
Welcome back. How are the shows?
Who cares?
They were really great. Really great. Apart from one, but I won't mention that place.
Blacklisted in your heart.
It was pretty funny. There was some people who heckled, and I think it was because of Tourette's. So, you know, no shade at all, but some really funny moments. At one point, a woman said, I think there was a group of people with Tourette's, and I think a a woman said at one point something like, "You've got red hair." And I was like, yes, yes, I do.
You're not wrong.
Yes, I do.
You are not wrong. And you got me. You got me a beauty.
No context, halfway through his story with nothing to do with your hair.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, I kind of enjoyed myself all the same. It was also just like a smaller crowd, but, whatever. That was also the first one. And every other one was great. It's the way to do it if you're going to do it anyway.
Oh, yeah. Start with a rougher show.
The common way to do it is to finish with that one.
Yeah.
That's how I tend to do it.
Yeah.
And it's always leaving it with a bad taste. But this time around, the taste is still delicious.
Jess, what are we doing here? Episode 503. What is this all about?
Well, we're having fun. That's what we're having. We're having obvious friendship. That's what we're having. But if you're asking me how this show works for new listeners who have decided to start at episode, 503?
Welcome.
You absolute wild dogs, can I just say? You are wild. Just picking 503 and going from there.
I reckon that maybe we're at one of Matt's classic gigs recently, and they're like, I'm going to check out this guy's podcast.
Yeah.
He's got red hair.
He's got red hair. I love to listen to redheads. One of the three of us researches a topic, often suggested to us by our fantastic listeners, and then they tell the other two about it, who listen very politely, who definitely remember these things for years to come, and who never interrupt with dogshit riffs. And we always get on to the topic with a question.
That's
Matt,
right.
do you have a question?
I do have a question. Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I want you both, there's no taking in turns. I want you to both give it to me as you have it.
You want me to give it to you as I have it?
I don't got it.
I have it, but I don't think you actually want me to give it to you.
I don't think you want it. I don't think you can handle it.
I don't think you could.
I reckon I can.
I think you might have a heart
Give
attack.
it to me, you two. I do have a heart condition.
Yeah.
If you hit me, it's murder. That's question is, when you and another person unintentionally say the same thing simultaneously, it's a playful tradition to shout what word?
Jinx!
In my head, I'm like, what a fun moment this will be. And I wasn't quick enough to answer my own question in sync.
Or was it that I was too
quick.
rude in interrupting and not letting you finish your
No,
question?
I think too quick. Yeah, well done. Jess, let's point for Jess.
I held back because I knew what he was doing. I knew that he was setting
Shut up. No, you didn't. Oh, now I'm the idiot. Okay.
Yeah, that's how we get you.
I know.
With his
He's
mind
like,
games.
I obviously saw the bit he was trying to do, and for the comedy, I was actually hanging back. But obviously, I knew the answer basically the second he started talking.
But
That's actually how it went down.
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to not have fun on this show.
Yeah.
Me and Jess are here to have fun, Dave.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to win.
Well,
Okay.
but you didn't do that either.
Well, I'm here for looking smug.
I'm so confused by
It's
this
an
guy.
audio medium.
Oh, I'm not doing it for anyone else.
Oh, well, you are looking smug. I will give you that. So, yes, this week we're talking about
Jinx?
a guy nicknamed the Jinx,
Oh.
Robert Durst.
Oh, I thought he was going to say we're talking about a guy who had been jinxed for 30 years or something. Just say it. So,
Please.
just
Say
say
his name.
say my name 3 times or whatever it is. The Jinx?
That's Rumpelstiltskin.
Okay. What are the rules of Jinx together?
Yeah, you got to say
I
it.
think you just say it once, don't you? Do you have to say it 3
Oh,
times?
yeah, maybe you only have to say it once.
Or
yeah.
are you thinking of Bloody Mary?
Yeah, well, the Candyman.
Beetlejuice?
Okay, there's a few.
There's a few.
Yeah.
But speaking of real life terrifying people, the Jinx, this is one of the, like a big doco that I've heard of that I
Yes.
haven't seen. Have you seen it, Jess?
No.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad. Yes, HBO's The Jinx.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
And it's one of those documentaries that it ends up wrapped up in the story.
Mm.
The fact that they made the documentary led to, big breakthroughs in the case.
Yes. So I know that, but I don't know the details of the whole case.
Yes.
So this is very interesting.
And this has been suggested by a few listeners, including Bailey Blacklock from Portsmouth in the UK, Scott Clark from Cumbria in England, Joseph from the US, can't be any more specific than that, Jack Vernon from Mesa, Arizona in the US, and Jordan DeJong from Johnson City,
Those are some
Tennessee.
incredible names all through that.
Jordan DeJong from Johnson City.
Jesus Christ. Who was first? Bailey
Bailey Blacklock.
Blacklock.
That is awesome.
Is that CK or CH?
CK.
Fuck yeah. Blacklock.
Yeah,
That's great.
Bailey's leaving us in no doubt. That is Blacklock.
Blacklock?
Not Blacklotch.
Exactly, yeah. It's
Which
not a lake.
No. And Jordan De Jong said that they're about 90 minutes from Dollywood.
Wow.
Did you go to Johnson City? That's one of the best city names I've ever heard.
I did not.
I love that so much.
That's so good.
I mean,
Johnson
after
City.
you got married, you didn't go to Johnson City?
No, we're waiting. I'm rewatching Parks and Rec because I'm basically always watching Parks and Rec. And there's
You're like painting the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Yeah, once I finish,
Yeah.
I got to start again. And there's a couple in it that are like conservative rights activists. Like they always they're arguing for abstinence only to be taught. And we've met the wife several times, and then she introduces her husband, who is a very flamboyantly gay man. And he says at one point he's like, we waited until marriage and then some. And I've been saying that a lot this week. I'm waiting until marriage and then some.
Yeah, just to be safe.
Just to be safe. You never know. Just in case the paperwork hasn't got through to the big fella yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's surely a backlog.
It's a backlog. I don't know how
It's like when I
marriage courts work in Vegas.
played Centurion, I made sure I had a 101st shot.
Yes.
Just to make sure, in case there was a clerical error.
Exactly.
Yeah, very similar. All right, here is the story. I was up late last night.
Were you? Or were you up early this morning?
I was up early this morning.
And were you doing the Centurion last night?
Yes.
Okay.
That explains a lot.
Every fact I wrote down, I had a shot.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, there's so many facts.
So I haven't done a read through this. I'm confident it is. Anyway, we'll find out together.
And I don't know why you would need to mention that to us, two people who would never ever pick up on small things you say incorrectly.
No,
Yeah,
we're
that's
very
true.
polite. Very
We're
polite.
very polite and we respect you.
Plus, AJ will look after us in the edit.
Always does.
Always does. We assume.
We don't listen back.
All right, here's the story. Maybe some warnings about some domestic violence and other such things.
Okay.
I don't we never go into too much detail,
No.
but it is a part of it. So on the 31st of January 1982, 29-year-old Kathleen McCormack attended a party at her friend's house in Connecticut. And after the party that night, she left early and was never seen again. For all that's interesting, Neil Patmore writes, Kathy McCormack was born on the 15th of June 1952 and grew up near New York City. She attended New Hyde Park Memorial High School and worked numerous part-time jobs, both on Long Island and in Manhattan. Man, that's the longest school name I've ever heard, I reckon. New Hyde Park Memorial High School.
Too long.
Yeah, put that on your jacket.
What would the letter be? Is that what the Letterman jacket is in American culture? Is it just the first letter of the school, or is it just a letter?
I think it's what letter you got on your latest exam.
Yeah, you got to keep changing that patch.
Hey, give that to me. You only got a C. Give me that B. Give me that B.
Oh, right. So, yeah, some people are going around with an F letter jacket and they just didn't do so good.
Yeah.
And they're really uncool.
It's a shaming thing.
Right. But you have to put your jacket on,
Yeah.
young man.
Yeah.
I got my Letterman's jacket. Oh, what'd you get? B+. That's all right.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good, I guess.
Nothing to sneeze at.
So McCormack did go on to marry Robert Durst. They met when she was quite young. I think she was maybe 18 and he's 9 or so years older than her. But he was the son of a wealthy real estate magnate, and his dad was the son of a wealthy real estate magnate. It was a bit of an empire, a big deal.
It's like properly wealthy people.
Yeah, the Manhattan skyline was a lot of those big buildings were Durst family buildings.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, and then just over 10 years after they met and 8 years after they were married, that's when Kathy disappeared. 5 days after she was last seen, on the 5th of February 1982, Durst finally reported her missing. Which seems like that's a pretty long wait. He said she's off to study. They were living outside of, they were living in Connecticut or wherever, and she was studying New York. Sometimes she'd go away studying and they wouldn't chat for a bit. Wasn't that uncommon?
This is pre-smartphones.
Yes, it's harder to stay in
You're
touch,
not
I guess.
texting all the time.
Yeah.
You know, we're so clingy these days. Oh, I got to check in with my partner every day so they know I'm alive.
Yeah, but back in the day, your partner would just go out to the forest for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, nothing
Yeah.
weird
They'd
about
forage.
it. Yeah,
You would hear from them.
I know. God.
Plus, you'd write them a letter. Takes a few days to get there.
Yeah.
You go 5 days. Well, now I'm starting to think there should have been a letter back by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did she not immediately write back to me? Maybe she was busy. She thought, I'll sleep on it. I'll write back to him tomorrow. I'll give it till tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. For Vulture, Nate Jones writes that Durst told police that Kathy returned to the couple's South Salem cottage the night of the 31st. Then, after a fight, she wanted to go back to New York City where they had an apartment. Durst told police he dropped her off at the Metro North station at Katona, then called her from a payphone to talk when she arrived at her Manhattan apartment. His story appears to be backed up by testimony from a doorman who says he saw Kathy enter the apartment building, as well as from an associate dean of her medical school who said Kathy called in sick the next day. When asked why he didn't report his wife missing sooner, Durst said that because of her med school duties, it was not unusual for him to go 2 or 3 days without seeing her. So it's like, it's pretty normal. But Kathy's family was very sus on Durst.
Right.
They didn't mind him at first, but pretty soon they're like, he's not right.
Oh.
So who is Robert Durst? Well, according to Robert D. McFadden, writing for the New York Times, Robert Allen Durst was born on the 12th of April, 1943 in Manhattan. He was the oldest of 4 children of Seymour and Bernice. His father was the patriarch.
Jess's face.
I was trying not to interrupt you, but Bernice gave me a visceral reaction.
Oh.
I had that for Seymour.
You like Seymour?
No.
Okay, I don't like Bernice.
What about Bernice? If I say it like that.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Bernie.
Bernie.
Let's call her Bernie.
Seymour and Bernie.
I like it.
Maury and Bernie.
Maury.
Yeah, because I don't like Seymour much.
Fair enough.
Seymour.
Yeah.
So I can only say it like that.
It was
right?
definitely worth interrupting you. I'm sorry, I had a visceral reaction to Bernice.
That's why I had to commentate the face because it really caught me off guard as
Yeah,
well.
sorry.
You just sucked a lemon. You're like, oh.
I actually love lemon, so it has to be something else.
Okay, you just sucked a lime.
Because me sucking a lemon would be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Seymour, he was the patriarch of this building empire, which was founded in 1927 by Robert's grandfather, Joseph Durst, who was an Austrian immigrant.
That's so close to Joe Dirt.
It's so close to Joe Dirt.
Meet Joe Durst.
A fantastic film.
And the film wasn't Meet Joe Dirt, was it? That was Meet Joe Black.
Yes.
We've now merged 3 different things.
That's what we do best. We misremember things and smush them together.
This is how Charles V. Bagley, also writing for the New York Times, put it about the Durst family. He said that they presided over a Manhattan real estate company whose towers formed the skyline.
That's nice.
That's big.
Yeah. Back to McFadden. Robert and his siblings, Douglas, Thomas, and Wendy, grew up in the Westchester suburb of Scarsdale, but their comfortable childhood was punctured in 1950 by the death of their mother, who fell or jumped from the roof of their home. Their family was devastated, and 7-year-old Robert, who may have witnessed her plunge, was shattered, obviously. He says he did see it, and others say he didn't see it. Like, others in his family said he wouldn't have seen it. He's like, I saw it. Dad brought me over to the window, and then I saw it. That's how he tells it.
Dad brought me over to the window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably
strange.
not for that.
No, just a bad
All right. He's like,
coincidence.
look at the view, and then, oh my God.
Yeah.
Our memories aren't very reliable.
No, isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
I used to be so sure and be like, no, this is how it happened. You're
Yeah.
wrong. And now I'm like, well, we will never know.
Yeah.
Which isn't ideal.
No, it would be good if memories were like, pretty locked in.
Yes.
But actually, we can kind of trick ourselves a lot too.
Yeah. Memories of memories. Like I've done it where I've inserted myself into memories
Yeah.
or insert
Photos.
More likely inserting people who weren't there into memories, like merging a few different
Yeah,
things
right.
and going, wait, you weren't there?
Yeah.
I picture you there.
Sometimes there'll be a photo I've seen frequently, and then I'll remember things, and I'm like, do I actually remember that, or am I thinking of a photo?
Yeah, yeah.
Weird.
Did you ever do that thing where you've exaggerated a story for stand-up or combined two events just for storytelling, and now I can't remember what really happened?
Yeah,
Like I've said the story so many times that way.
Yeah.
But I've combined two events, I've cut something out in the middle, and I'm like, what happened in the middle?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then it turns out that's quite an important part.
Officer.
Of course, I'm usually a truth teller on stage.
Yeah.
You know, truth to power, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, truth of power, putting up a mirror to society,
Yeah, that's-
punching up.
Well, that's
Punching up
impressive.
at the mirror to society.
Yeah.
Back to McFadden. So him and his younger brother Douglas didn't get on. They had fist fights.
Douglas Durst.
Douglas Durst.
Dougie Durst.
Dougie Durst.
Okay, Dougie's better.
That sounds like a good name for their dog.
Yeah.
Dougie Dog the Durst. Dougie Durst the dog.
There it is.
But they'd have punch-ons.
Yeah.
Siblings.
And Robert was sent for psychiatric counselling. And yeah, they thought, I mean, this is all in hindsight of after how his life went, but they'll talk to some of those doctors and they say, yeah, there were signs of troubles. Mr. Durst, that's Robert, or Bobby as his friends seem to call him, graduated from Lehigh University, or Lehigh. Or Lehigh. Could be Lehigh University. But I'd like to think it's French. Lehigh University, if you know what I mean.
I just can't imagine how this is spelled from the way you said it.
I'm just excited for the posts in the Patreon group explaining it.
Lehigh. Lehighh. But one word. Anyway, he graduated in 1965 with a degree in economics, but dropped out of postgraduate studies at UCLA, where he met Susan Berman, an aspiring writer and the daughter of a reputed Las Vegas mobster.
Oh.
We'll hear more about her and her dad a bit later. McFadden continues, as a young man, Mr. Durst's conduct often seemed merely impulsive and eccentric. After 2 dates, for instance, he invited Kathleen McCormack to move with him to Vermont. I think I said Connecticut before. Vermont, where he had opened a health food store named All Good Things. So this is they end up getting married.
All good things.
Yeah. Must come
Is it still going?
I don't think so.
Unfortunately.
As the adage, projected. Yeah, so two dates, they moved together interstate.
When you know, you know.
Mm.
Dave and his wife still haven't even been on 2 dates.
Yeah.
They met, married.
That's it. Boom. Locked in.
When you know, you know.
We opened a health food shop. It's going great.
For now.
Sorry, that's the name of the shop. It's called It's Going Great.
For now.
Well, for now. And then it closed down 4 years ago.
Okay. So a year later, after they'd moved and they were working on this health food store, kind of living a bit of a hippie lifestyle, driving a Volkswagen.
What?
You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah. Hippy dippy.
Okay.
Come on.
Alternative.
This he's from multi-billionaires.
Yeah.
Or millionaires, at least.
VW. What's that stand for? Very weird.
Yeah. Stay very weird. But yeah, I think his dad was like, all right, time to come back. You've had your fun.
I'm embarrassed. You're driving a VW. Come
Yeah.
on. Get
You've
in the
opened a
Bentley.
health food shop? Oh, it's a shame on the family name.
Come on.
So he gets him to come back to New York, joins the family business, and Durst and McCormack were married in 1973, and they were living, that lifestyle in the big city, partying at Studio 54, the celebrity disco in Manhattan, and they would sail the Mediterranean also. They went to Thailand.
Whoa.
They were living it up.
Whoa.
Really?
On the surface, paradise.
Sounds like a beautiful life.
But sadly, as the 70s continued, the couple's relationship deteriorated and Durst became increasingly violent and controlling. He reportedly forced her to give up a pregnancy.
Ugh.
And that sounds like that was a big turning point. Like she started trying to find a path out, seeking independence. She started studying nursing, and then after graduating her nursing degree, Bagley writes, immediately she started medical school at Albert Einstein College, if you don't mind. Imagine you go like, I've never heard of it, but
It's got to be good.
you have that on your diploma. Phew.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Which that's in the Bronx.
Yeah,
And-
I've heard of Albert Einstein. I'm pretty sure.
he's a pretty big deal.
Like, honestly, it could say Albert Einstein Clown College, and I'd be like, wow, that's got to be a good clown college.
If you just saw him without knowing who he was, and and they said medical school or clown college, I think you're saying he's probably
Yeah, the dean.
he's the clown college
Comes in,
guy.
there, comes in wearing, honking a little,
That's a fancy honk.
No, I remember it because it's tuition free because of a $1 billion gift given to them by Ruth Gottesman. Her late husband David left the money to her upon his death, so she donated $1 billion. So it's now a tuition free school. I think they also have predominantly, or definitely, a much higher percentage of black students as well. So it's huge.
That's, I mean, billionaires.
That was only like a couple of years ago.
If you're listening, billionaires, why not do that?
do that for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Just like build some houses for people, maybe.
You could do a lot.
You could do a lot, $1 billion.
And if you're a multi-billionaire, you
Get
could
rid
do
of one
even
of them.
more.
You fuck.
Jesus.
I know. Anyway, that's why that school is, that was in my head. I was like,
Yes,
I've
that
heard
makes
of that
sense.
one. And I've heard of Albert Einstein.
And I have been meaning to say that because I know 50% of our audience are billionaires.
Yeah.
So it's probably, we've got the platform. We should really
Yeah,
speak to them directly.
that's right.
So, yes, back to Bagley. So she's studying at Albert Einstein College of Medicine, and her plan is to become a pediatrician. Her classmate, Dr. Alicia Landman Reiner. Wow.
Excuse me?
Fantastic.
Landman Reiner.
Landman Reiner. So obviously they were students together, but she went on to become a doctor. Dr. Landman Reiner said she was so excited to be a medical student. She worked hard. She always took a seat in the front row and took notes. And so, if she had a letter on her jacket, it'd be A. Maybe
For attendance.
A for attendance.
I'm here every week. I failed every exam, but I will be back next week. I'm not listening.
She was taking notes, but of what?
Just sketching the room.
Yeah. Oh, there's a squirrel outside. Oh, sorry. Squirrel.
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 Bagley continues. Robert's possessiveness was escalating into physical violence, said a nursing school classmate of McCormack's named Eleanor Joy Schwank. The names in this episode.
Stop it.
Running Joyce into Schwank. Joyce Schwank.
Yeah, it's so
That's
good.
incredible.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah, this is what Joy Schwank said during an interview in 2000. Kathy would call me saying Bobby is really violent. Durst, impatient to leave a McCormack family gathering at one point, yanked his wife's hair in front of her family.
Oh my
Yuck.
gosh.
So they're like, oh, shit, this is bad. And her sister Mary said on another occasion he stormed into their East Side apartment where McCormack was talking with friends and kicked an acquaintance in the face.
What the fuck?
The man who was kicked in the face later settled a lawsuit over the episode with Mr. Durst. So he got cash out of it. And that was the thing. I think Durst was so rich, his family's so rich and powerful that he could just get out of things.
Yeah, and you just don't see that happening anymore.
No, that's right.
Really wealthy people, particularly in a real estate sort of environment, just getting away with things and abusing
Certainly
power.
not New York City. Certainly not New York City.
And I think that...
You'd never see that in New York.
Yeah.
Beautiful city.
That's one of the things that I think is, people say, oh, things used to be better. Well, that used to happen and it doesn't anymore.
Exactly right.
So,
exactly right.
I rest my case.
Yeah.
Proof is proof.
So, yeah, apparently McCormack would tell her sister Mary, as well as her friends, she told a lot of people, and this is pretty chilling, if anything happens to me, don't let Bob get away with it. She was starting to think,
Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
That's awful.
yes. And I don't know if it's a bit of a spoiler, but he gets away with it. anyway, he doesn't get away. You know, there's a lot to come, but yeah, brutally, he basically gets away with it.
So that's on her friends.
Yes, she was.
She
sounds like she was
said-
pretty clear.
Yeah, they took an oath.
Don't let him get away with it. And they did. Some friends.
Also, Mary, the sister, Bagley writes, Mary has a vivid recollection of the phone call she got the week of her sister's disappearance. She got the call from Robert Durst, from Bobby, and he called up after she had been missing. He said, "Have you seen Kathy?" She said, "No, I haven't, but I've been meaning to talk to you about her." And he cut her off saying, "Oh, well, I'm going to the police," and hung up. And Mary, who's now Mary Hughes, remembers that she hung up the phone, turned to her husband, Tom, and said, "I think he killed her."
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. That's
Yes.
horrific.
Yeah, it's so grim. Over the following months, not a lot of progress was made in the case. There was no body found, so it remained a missing persons case. But this didn't stop her friends and family from doing their own investigation. Like, the police were they had their suspicions, but they felt like they weren't able to make any progress.
Yeah.
And Jones writes, a lot of what Jones writes is in present tense, so apologies for the people who find tense switching very frustrating. But okay, like,
What are you going to misquote Jones?
Yeah. That'd be disrespectful.
Jones writes, a group of Kathy's friends investigate the Dursts, Kathy and Bob's Westchester home and discover Kathy's mail in the trash unopened. They go to the police, who have formed their own suspicions. By this time, the doorman now admits he only saw Kathy from behind and from a distance. And despite Durst's claim that he spoke to his wife from a payphone, the nearest payphone is miles from his house. And he's got a phone at home. It would have made no sense.
Yeah, why a payphone?
Why a payphone? Oh, is it because that would be a lot harder to trace the call and prove that the call actually happened?
Where's he living? Miles from a payphone?
Yeah. They're you know, it's not like in the hustle and bustle, this place. They're not.
Yeah.
This isn't in New York. This is in Vermont, home of the Whoopies.
And the creamies.
And the creamies, I should say.
Man,
The Whoopies.
I don't know where to go. Whoopie.
I haven't had a creamy, but I'm dying to have a whoopee.
Wait
Any-
for marriage
any-
and then some.
And then some. And then we'll go to Vermont.
It,
We'll have our whoopies.
it seems like maybe this doorman, maybe he did see someone he thought was Kathy, or maybe he got a bit of cash.
Yeah.
To say, oh, you maybe saw this person. Also, it's possible that the phone call that the school received saying she was calling in sick, maybe that wasn't actually from Kathy. That was from a woman, and they assumed it was Kathy. But
Yeah.
now there's quite a lot
Call
of doubt
me
about
now and do an impression of me calling in sick.
that. Okay. Who am I speaking to?
So you're me.
Yep.
I'm you.
Okay.
Dave, you be the phone.
Why are you
'Cause I'm-
not answering?
Because I feel, am I me?
Because I'm calling in sick, and this is where I work.
Okay, but I'm.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you were the reception for Albert Einstein. And I'm like, why does Matt work there?
No.
Okay.
I'm calling in sick. I'm giving Matt an opportunity.
No, this is great.
All I was trying to get to. Have you seen Mrs. Doubtfire? It's pretty easy to just
Okay.
do a high pitched voice
Okay.
and pass off as a woman.
All right, I'll be the phone.
That's where I was trying to go
Okay,
with
let's
this whole
find out.
fucking bit,
Let's
but
find
you've
out.
asked so many questions.
Well, I'm not gonna do a Robin Williams style
Okay,
thing.
you're the phone.
I'm gonna
I'm
try
gonna
and do
be
an
Matt.
accurate Jess.
I mean, if
Right.
an actor can't ask questions, they're not going to give you the best outcome.
Well,
Yeah.
when you're calling yourself an actor and you're playing the role of phone,
I've been
Yeah.
cast.
go.
Okay.
What are you, a phone?
I'll just answer the phone.
No.
No,
don't,
I'm just
don't
answering.
take this away from me.
Sorry, the phone's on silent. The phone's on silent.
There's another phone.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Jess. What's up?
I'm sick.
Oh, no. I'm not sure why you haven't just messaged the group chat. But, okay. What do you want me to do about it?
I've got my period.
Okay.
Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Call waiting. Beep, beep.
Sorry, Jess. Just one moment.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. It's Jess here. I'm just calling in to tell you I'm feeling very well and I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Jez, I just had you on the other line saying you were sick.
Oh, you just got...
Beep, beep,
Sorry,
beep.
just
Have
one
you got another call?
Beep,
Just 1
beep.
second, Jez.
Okay.
Beep, beep.
Sorry. Hello.
Hello. I'm actually feeling a bit better now. So yeah, me and Jess will be in soon.
Who's this?
It's Jess.
Beep, beep.
Hang on 1 second, Jess. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Yes, hello.
Hi, Jess again. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be there after all. I've got diarrhea.
And your period.
Yes.
That's a bad day.
I'm having a bad one. So, yeah. Hopefully, Meso's free to fill in for me. Anyway.
And saying, all
See
right.
ya.
That's how easy it is.
Yes.
So it could have just been Durst himself.
That's what
That's
I
what
was
we're proving.
trying to say.
Yes. I think that means.
Do you think that's admissible in a courtroom?
What part of it?
Well, just to be like, jury, this is how easy it is. And then you point to the judge and say, all right, judge, you're playing this role. I'm playing this role.
Like, judge, close your eyes.
I'm going to take you on an adventure.
So yeah, we will try and insert lightness in the cracks here.
Yeah, that's right.
So Durst, this absolute fuckhead, starts withdrawing from the press, and he appoints his friend Susan Berman, who we heard about before, writer and daughter of Las Vegas gangster. He made her his unofficial spokesperson. So any press asking about, the case and his wife, because to the media he's looking for his missing wife.
Right,
Yeah.
he's possibly grieving.
Yes. He'd be very scared and worried for sure.
Very worried.
And despite Kathy's family's concerns, the case went cold. In 1988, 6 years after the disappearance, Durst started dating a New York City real estate broker named Deborah Lee Sharaton. In the documentary, they've got a few scenes of weird stuff with her. She had an all-female firm, but they made them do these tests, like they were smelt and stuff, like making sure their scent was okay, if I remember it correctly. I haven't watched the series in a while, but it was like a bit odd.
We only employ women, but not stinky women.
Yeah, and I think they were weighed and stuff like that.
Yeah. What are they, my GP?
Pretty empowering.
Hi, I just need a new script on the scales. Hello.
It's your doctor, Jess. Just checking in, see if what are you weighing today, mate?
Oh, I haven't
We heard you were sick.
I haven't weighed
Heard on the
myself for a
grapevine
bit.
you might be a bit sick, so just thought I'd call and find out.
Also heard Aunt Flo's visiting, so
Yeah.
you're probably getting into a bit more chocolate than usual, aren't you, you disgusting little fatty?
Okay, all right. All right, you took the words right out of my mind, so it sounds like you're on top of it. Thanks. All right, Jess. All right.
Now put your husband on.
Yeah, well, let the adults speak now. Jesus. So in 1990, Durst, and he did this quietly without telling her family, he divorced Kathy, citing,
She's gone.
she was absent or whatever.
Yeah.
And he also sold their cottage before moving to a New York City apartment with Sharaton, the woman he started dating.
Mm-hmm.
But this didn't last long. He moved out after 9 months, but she kept the apartment. In 1994, his father picked Durst's younger brother, Douglas Durst.
Dougie
Durst to take over the family business.
Okay. Do you think MC Dougie Durst is good?
It's actually so good.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
MC Dougie
He should do weddings, bar mitzvahs, etc.
If you,
Does it all.
But their families actually, unfortunately, their family business is real estate and not DJs.
Damn it.
yeah, I think. Can I show you a photo of this guy? He has the look of a cartoon character, maybe like a. Who's that SNL guy who was like the other wedding singer in The Wedding Singer? Where he goes, he's losing his mind.
Yes.
Dan Lovitz.
Yeah,
John
Johnny
Lovitz.
Lovitz. Johnny Lovitz. Yeah, I reckon John Lovitz should play him if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
John Lovitz with the glasses on. A little bit of David Suchet as well.
Yeah.
DJ Dougie Durst, played by John Lovitz, and in some scenes, when he's wearing glasses, David Suchet.
Maybe it depends on the tone of the film.
True, yeah. It might end up being that thing like Capote, where there were two Capote movies at the same time.
Yeah.
Different takes.
Yes.
One wins an Academy Award. That's John Lovitz.
Yes.
Suchet misses out, unfortunately.
Somebody has to.
For a
But
respected
Lovitz did a fantastic
Shakespearean
job.
actor.
But yeah, so he gets passed over by his younger brother, and
Yeah.
that he's hurt
Oh, he
by
doesn't
this.
take that well.
Doesn't take it well, and he can't. He just basically breaks off contact with his family
Wow.
over it. In 1999, according to Jones, after receiving a bogus tip about the location of her body from a serial public masturbator.
Okay.
So I didn't expect that.
No.
I think I said like a public hoaxer or something.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
This seems unrelated,
Yeah,
but
someone
they
who
also seem probably unreliable.
Often
maybe.
gives these fake tips. No, they're just masturbating everywhere.
Yeah. So he was done for, wanking outside.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
apparently he was like, yeah, I've got some information for you on another one of your cases. But it turned out to be false, but it still led to the case being reopened. And this time now is a possible homicide because the information that this guy was lying about was the location of the body.
Right.
So they then searched the Durst Old Cottage in South Salem, as well as a nearby lake, but found nothing. Now, we've talked about Susan Berman a couple of times, the writer and daughter of the mobster. Let's get into her a little bit more now. So her dad, the mobster, was a guy called Davy Berman, a Las Vegas mobster who was Bugsy Siegel's partner, and he took over the business from Bugsy Siegel. Bugsy's a great mobster name. There must be a few Bugsies, right?
Yeah.
So Bugsy Malone, is that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems like one of the big ones.
One of the big Bugsies.
And
I reckon Dave could pull off Bugsy.
yeah, I think so. Is it because of his eyes?
Yeah.
What about Davey? Can I pull that off? I heard that and thought,
I think you can pull off Davy.
Davey, yeah.
boy.
You want to try it?
yeah, I'll go for a rebrand.
Okay. We'll try it. But I'm
Davey.
going to do it organically. I'm not going to force it now.
Thank you. Davey, Bugsy, Warnicky.
I also don't really call you Dave.
You used to drive a VW as well, which was
Yes, I was very weird.
yeah, but it wasn't a Bugsy.
In my
was
20s,
it?
I was very weird.
Stay weird, Dave. Davy. So yeah, he was a mobster, kind of a big underground mover and shaker in Vegas. But to Susan Berman, he was just dad. For Vulture, Lisa DiPaolo wrote, he'd pick Susan up from school and help her with her math homework in the counting room. Math is what Americans call maths.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
in
'Cause I
case
was
you were
like,
like,
what?
math? What's that?
Huh.
That's maths.
Okay.
Is it like singular?
I think they just do one sum. 7 times 7, 49. It's a great one.
Wow.
And it's not technically a sum, is it? That's addition. Doesn't matter. Equation, 1. I didn't even do a single math.
He's having a
School.
breakdown.
Oh my gosh.
What's 1 less than math? Math minus math is what I
Matt.
That's
do.
you.
Math, yes. So he'd teach her math homework in the counting room using casino chips.
That's nice.
It's like if you're going to learn math at someone's workplace, a casino is perfect.
Perfect.
He taught her how to play gin at the age of 4. This was so she'd have something to do with the bodyguards who lived in their house. She just grew up thinking they were just friends and uncles. The fellas around. It wasn't until much later in life that she realized who they actually were, or all these other things. Started like they're weird, but when it's the only thing you know, it's not that weird.
Yeah.
Like she was like, oh, that's why the windows were so high off the ground, so there'd be no drive-by shootings.
Wow.
And why they never had the keys, because that's a mobster thing. If you have your keys and you get shot, then your family's in trouble. So the keys were left with the security guards and stuff like that. Interesting.
Oh, right. So they let you in.
Yeah,
You got a doorman.
basically, yeah. And they played gin with toddlers.
Yeah.
Sure.
She was wondering why her onesies are made of Kevlar.
Yeah.
I just thought everyone had bulletproof onesies.
There were things like she'd get whisked away at different times, like, we got to lay low, so she was whisked off to other cities. And she's like, I just thought it was fun adventures.
We were on a holiday.
I got to have ice cream when we did that. It was the best.
Wow.
Her dad died, though, at at the age of 53, which is not unusual in that line of business. But what was unusual, it was of a heart attack.
I was gonna joke of natural causes.
Yeah, it was of natural causes.
Wow.
But do you think looking over your shoulder your whole life, that's probably not
Probably not
good
going
for
to the old
stress
ticker.
levels?
Yeah, not great.
She later wrote that she never appreciated the irony that he was maybe the only gangster of that era to die a natural death. A month before her father died, he threw a lavish 12th birthday party at the Riviera where Liberace sang happy birthday to her.
Okay, that is a big party.
This article, it has lines like, to her, the real king of Vegas wasn't Elvis, it was her dad, though she did know Elvis.
Elvis was just some guy that just came in and serenaded her.
Yeah, later on she's like, oh, he was a singer.
Oh.
I just thought he was an uncle or something.
Nice guy.
Yeah. Shit at gin.
Absolutely fleeced him.
So she didn't know that he was a mobster until adulthood. And finding out about his dark past didn't tarnish her memory of him. As DePaulo writes, his FBI wanted poster was hung prominently in her living room, and she carried his mugshot in her wallet and would, quote, whip it out the way the rest of us showed baby pictures, according to an old colleague. She...
Everyone else is showing babies. She's like, check out my dead dad. Okay. Great, that's really ended this conversation.
Yeah, well, that's my break done. So I'm going to go back to my desk now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you. No, I don't know if I can go out for drinks later. Yeah.
But it was funny because apparently it was working in the media where people were going, oh, you're not any relation to Davey. And she's like, yeah, it's my dad. Oh. And she, for a while, she was like, oh, that's interesting. And then she started looking into it and really figured out the extent of her father's underworld involvement.
Honestly, is she a bit stupid? How did she not know until like her 20s?
She's working in the media?
Yeah.
She has no critical thinking skills.
I think
All
like,
that stuff's adding up now, and there's articles, and that FBI wanted poster that's hanging in the lounge room.
well, no,
That's what that means.
That came later. I mean, I'm messing around with the timeline a little
But
bit.
you did say she didn't figure it out till she was an adult. Like, come on, mate.
Well, if that's all you know,
Yeah, no,
I fully know that feeling of being like, oh, of course.
Yes.
But you grow up and you've built this sort of...
But it's usually about like things your parents said you couldn't do, and then you go, oh, wait.
Yeah.
You know, like the TV doesn't work on weekdays or something, and you go, oh, our TV
The
doesn't work
bruised
on
bit
weekdays.
of banana's the healthiest bit.
Exactly. And then you grow up and you go,
I fully realized that bruise thing when I was an adult.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my dad, you are diabolical.
yeah. How would it get any healthier?
It doesn't make... If anything,
Yeah.
that's like... I reckon if you really zoomed in on those rotting bruises...
Yeah, it's probably...
There'd probably be some bad stuff in there. Not in the 90s, there wasn't. She ended up writing a book about it called Easy Street. And when she did this research, she was like, holy shit, he was actually a... Maybe she started to think, oh, he was
That's
involved, but, oh, he was like a boss.
It's a weird, wild ancestry DNA. Like most people find out, oh, we used to own a pub in rural Victoria. But she's like, oh, my dad was this huge mobster.
Yeah.
I thought everyone had Liberace sing Happy Birthday. It wasn't until I was 28 I realised that I was who sang at your 12th birthday?
Yeah.
I don't know their name. In fact, no one sang.
No one. My family? What do you mean?
Oh, that's weird.
Is your uncle Liberace?
What's going on? I'm so confused. So DePaulo writes that Easy Street, this book she wrote, was published to rave reviews in 1981 and was bought by Universal Studios for $350,000. Wow. Which in today's money is a shit ton. And the movie never got made though. And apparently, yeah, that bummed Susan out a bit, but surely that $350,000.
That's a bit of padding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you've grown up the daughter of a mob boss, $350K is probably what?
Yeah. And apparently she was good at spending cash. Okay. Like she burnt through it.
Right, because...
And but after the dad dies, is the family still wealthy, or is it kind of like we lived a wild lifestyle and now dad's gone, they're sort of fending for themselves?
Yeah, I think it was a bit like that. Her mum wasn't around either, so she was off at another uncle's place kind of thing. And he was in and out of jail, her new sort of carer.
Oh, right.
And so, yeah, I think money was left to her. Like, her dad tried to look after her, but yeah, it wasn't that much in the scheme of things.
Mm-hmm.
Or she certainly burnt through it anyway.
Right.
And then, like, she burnt through that $350,000, which is a fortune in 1981.
I mean, you got to get Liberace to sing at your 25th birthday.
Yeah. And he is not cheap.
He's not cheap.
Even for family friends.
So Berman and Robert Durst were close. Some you'll read that they were best friends sometimes. I don't know if anyone was really Robert Durst's best friend. I don't know. But she referred to him as like a brother and often dedicated her books to him. DePaulo writes, "It was always Bobby this, Bobby that. Wonderful Bobby," a friend recalls. Yet when Susan tried to reach him in 2000 to borrow money, because she burnt through what she had, she was irked to find he'd changed his phone number. So yeah, it's like, a best friend probably doesn't do that without telling you. So she wrote to him via the Durst organization, and he ended up coming through for her, sending 2 checks worth $25,000 each. And she's like, I just want to borrow money. He said, no, keep it. It's yours. There are theories that maybe he might have been buying her silence. She was very close to him. Mm-hmm. Maybe she knew things.
Oh, okay.
That's a theory. Like, no one knows for sure.
Yeah.
Then later that year, on the 11th of December, seemingly out of the blue, Durst marries the real estate broker Deborah Lee Chariton, who they lived together for 9 months.
Yeah.
And that was years ago.
Yeah.
Like 12 years.
They'd split up and yeah, right, okay.
And the ceremony, it doesn't sound like it was, a big deal. It was secret. And only lasted for 15 minutes. It was just like let's get this.
And that's a bad thing, you're saying?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
You're judging people who get married privately and in 15-minute ceremonies.
I'm not saying that, but I am saying
to not be
that there are certain things that a spouse doesn't have to say in court. I think there's
right, because you're
spousal
saying
confidence.
And just reiterated, but I'm just catching up that they had broken up years before, is what you're saying, and then suddenly they're married again. Gotcha,
I think they stayed in touch, I guess, but
Yeah.
they weren't in an ongoing relationship.
Suddenly they're married.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
According to Jones, the rabbi that presided over the ceremony was hired out of the phone book and later told the Daily News that, quote, Durst was rather taciturn. He was not buoyant and didn't smile.
On his wedding day.
So it does actually sound more and more like your wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Were you quite taciturn? And also, follow-up question, am I saying that right?
To answer your first part, yes.
Yep.
To answer your second part, I don't know.
Taciturn, reserved or uncommunicative in speech, saying little.
Yeah, that's me.
Dave, am I saying the word
Well, all
right?
you guys, I believe you are saying it right, but all you have to say is I do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
say
want me
the
to be
words.
chatting away?
I think this was a chatty rabbi.
Yeah.
And you can get them sometimes.
He's like, how about this weather?
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
fuck, I hate small talk. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
gosh.
Follow the footy? No. Fuck, shut up.
Maybe I'd be less taciturn if I could get a bloody word in.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now, another sad turn here. On the 24th of December in the year 2000, Susan Berman is found dead in her LA home. This is the daughter of the mafia man.
Oh, my gosh.
And a good friend of Robert Durst. She was found with a gunshot wound to her head. And according to Jones, there were, and he does it in present tense.
Okay.
There are no signs of forced entry, and all her valuables remain in place. The main piece of evidence is an anonymous letter addressed to the Beverly Hills Police, Beverly Hills being misspelled, which informs them that there is a cadaver, that's the word they used, in Berman's house. Though Kathy Durst's friends suspect she was murdered to keep her from telling the police what she knew about the disappearance.
And it is a murder. It's definitely not
Yes.
self-inflicted or anything like that.
Yeah,
like,
definitely,
it's clear
yeah.
that someone has murdered this woman and then a letter's been sent.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
The LAPD considers Durst a possible suspect, but focuses more on her manager, Noel Brenner, which, as it turns out, is they were focusing on the wrong guy. So, yeah, there were different theories, like she's the daughter of a mob guy.
Okay.
Are they worried that she's going to write another book? But no, it sounds like she wrote about them in a pretty positive way, if anything.
She wrote about them with childlike wonder. She had no fucking idea what was going on. She can't name any mobsters. She didn't even know they were mobsters.
Exactly. And also most of those guys that she would be talking about were all dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like it seems like on the face of it, you go, oh, daughter of a mob boss who's now writing books. Maybe someone's trying to silence her, but people are like, oh, it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this is there's kind of 3 sections to this story. The first one was about Kathy. Second one was about Susan.
Mm-hmm.
And now this third one. And when I say 3 sections, then there's probably a fourth after that.
Thrilling.
A bit of an epilogue.
As I go, I'll be like, okay, no, 5 sections.
Just don't even put a number to it. Just say, and now I am beginning a new section.
Yes, okay, great.
Yeah,
good.
I think that's
That's good.
nice.
And AJ will tidy that up in post.
No, there'll be no need. It's perfect.
Okay, great. Even this bit?
Yeah. It's real. Now you answer.
No answer. Okay.
Oh, shit. Where is it? I've lost my phone. Oh, well, they'll call back.
All right. So we're heading to Galveston in Texas. And writing for Vanity Fair, another one. I can't believe how many great names in this story. But even the journalists have cracking names. Ned Zeman.
Wow.
So Ned Zeman writes, the island of Galveston sits off the southeastern coast of Texas, about an hour's drive from Houston. It's an affordable beach town known for its peaceful lifestyle and good fishing. On September the 30th in 2001, a man named David Avena stood on a rocky slip of beach near his home fishing with his stepdaughter and stepson. Whilst casting, the boy, his stepson, noticed a body floating in the water.
Oh, my God, another body.
According to Zeman, Avena approached, looked into the shallow water and saw something floating there. A dead pig, his boy guessed, but Avena knew otherwise. He was a surgical nurse and he'd seen human corpses in many states of disrepair.
And none looked like a pig.
Yes. But he did say he'd never encountered a naked torso shorn of its head and limbs floating at his feet. So it was new, but he's like, that's human.
Oh, God, that's grim.
By nightfall, the place was crawling with news trucks and police. Neighbours reported that a number of trash bags had been floating offshore. In time, the police found bags containing 2 severed arms and 2 severed legs. They also contained Metamucil packets, a receipt dated the 28th of September from Chalmers Hardware, plastic cups, paper towels, an edition of USA Today, at least the cover of it,
Okay.
and the packaging for a bow saw.
Ugh.
On the newspaper was a delivery address. 2213 Avenue K, Galveston. This is still a Zeman. The olive brown house at 2213 had a little backyard which bordered an alley where tenants put out their garbage cans. Once placed in the alley, the garbage ceased to be private property. Good news for the cops who don't even have to get a warrant to search these bins.
Oh.
And they wasted no time. Inside the garbage cans, they found an empty trash bag box, a Metamucil box, plastic cups, paper towels, and packaging for a drop cloth.
How backed up are these people?
Yeah,
Multiple
lot of
Metamucil boxes.
Yeah.
I'm not I don't even know if we get to the bottom of why the Metamucil's there.
Well, they're trying to get to the bottom. Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, he said bottom.
Bottom. That sounds like a poo thing.
I fell on my bottom.
They're trying to get to the bottom.
Most of the items had been purchased at Chalmers Hardware, where the receipt was found in the box.
Even Metamucil.
It's all tying together
It's a
like so
one-stop shop.
neatly.
Like, I don't know if someone's...
It's suspiciously neat, isn't it?
So
Yeah.
stupid. It's almost like,
Yeah,
come
that's what it feels like, but I think it's just stupid.
on. Oh, okay.
There's also, like, even you go, oh, they're obviously the same Metamucils. Well, they matched them via serial number, and it was the same Metamucil package.
Okay, wow.
Police also discovered the packaging for a 4-inch paring knife, a spent .22 caliber shell casing, a pair of men's briefs, a bloody sock, an eviction notice addressed to a Morris Black, and an eye exam receipt made out to a Robert Durst.
What? This all comes back to the first guy?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Fucking hell. Who saw that coming?
And who's Morris?
Yeah. Is that going to be section 5?
No. Morris is the guy without a head.
Okay.
He really was evicted then.
Yeah.
Sorry, bad taste.
Yeah, that is bad taste. If you want a really swift eviction, get onto that Metamucil.
God, he is good.
That's really good.
That is really good.
So, still with Zeman. It could be Zeman. Because it is spelled like semen with a Z. Let's just call him Jizz. No, we'll call him Zeman. I think Zeman's great.
Okay.
Ned Zeman, actually. If you're going to put Ned Zeman is good, but Ned Zeman is fantastic.
Ned Zeman's better, yeah. The E, yeah.
It sounds like a Led Zeppelin cover band.
Yes. Yes. That's really good.
That's really good. We should call him.
You guys are on absolute fire today.
Let's call him. We got an offer for you.
Ned, we've got an idea. Ned, are you sitting there? We're about to change your life, mate. So we're still with Zeman, who obviously, was writing by day.
Busting out some very high-pitched vocals by night.
Yeah. So he writes, Morris Black lived downstairs in apartment 1. Durst was not listed as a tenant. So they're like, oh, it's interesting that his stuff was mixed up here. Then October the 3rd, police executed a search warrant on Black's apartment, and there they found blood in the kitchen sink, the bathroom shower, and on the carpet. They also found blood between Black's apartment and the unit across the hall. That unit's tenant was a Dorothy Signer. Police searched her apartment. It was sparsely furnished and had no telephone. What it did have, though, was another section of that USA Today newspaper that was found.
Is this section 5?
Section 5 of the paper. Yeah.
Whoa.
That is interesting,
That's weird, yeah.
They also found more trash bags, a drop cloth, perhaps the one from the packaging, plus bloody boots and a bloody 4-inch paring knife. Preliminary blood tests turned out positive in various parts of the apartment, police said. Also, there was a cut in the kitchen's linoleum floor, and blood had seeped through the cut, soaking the wood beneath the flooring.
Gross.
The tenant, Miss Signer, wasn't home. In fact, she was rarely home. The landlord, Klaus Dillman, had seen her only 4 times. Klaus Dillman, another
amazing
That's
name.
amazing. Klaus.
her lights were on rarely and her blinds were always closed. She was very quiet. Very quiet, in fact. When she showed up to rent the place about 6 months earlier, she communicated only in writing. I can't talk, she scribbled. A throat condition, she indicated.
Oh my gosh. That's so sus.
She always paid with unsigned money orders. On occasion, a friend stayed with her, and once or twice Dillman had chatted with him. The friend's name was Robert Durst. Sometimes Dorothy would enter the house and minutes later Durst would leave. Sometimes it was the other way around. Dorothy liked to visit the local library. She wore glasses, which sometimes were held together with tape. Every now and then her neighbours saw Durst smoking on the porch. He was shy and polite and avoided eye contact. But he wanted quiet, and sometimes he yelled at school kids to keep their voices down. He took issue with the barking of neighbourhood dogs. He barked back.
Well, that'll help.
Yeah, that doesn't exacerbate the problem.
No. Feels like that'd be more of a Dougie Durst.
He's trying to be more like his brother.
Yeah. He's like, how do I get the big gig? Still with Zeman. None of the tenants got along with Morris Black, though. He was 71, lonely and cranky, always whining that he was about to die. Eventually he was correct on that. Always in everyone's business. Further garbage sifting turned up more evidence. Police said a .22 caliber pistol and 2 clips of ammunition. In the meantime, neighbours said that on the night before the torso was found, they'd seen Durst loading bags into a silver wagon-like car. Police found a vehicle identification number registered to Durst.
Was it a Volkswagen?
It was not a Volkswagen. It was
Okay.
a silver Honda CRV.
My actual dream car when I was a teenager.
The
Yeah,
CRV.
I
CRV.
wanted CRV when I got on my P's. My dream was to drive a Honda CRV.
Yeah.
And I never achieved that dream.
What a dream that was.
Yeah, I had the same dream.
I
wanted
loved
one.
them. God, they were cool.
They were like little mini four-wheel drives.
Yeah, they look so cool.
cute.
I wanted an old Falcon wagon.
Yeah, that's cool.
You grew up in
Similar
a
idea.
different time. You didn't have.
Or a Toyota Celica.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were cool.
Oh, that
weren't
was so cool. Then on October the 9th, so we're like a couple of weeks later or a week or so later, police spotted the Honda traveling through Galveston and pulled it over. When Officer Gary Jones looked through the car's window, he saw, in addition to the driver, a bow saw. It's all like fallen together
So
pretty
sloppy,
they?
straightforward.
Sounds
Yeah.
like the bow saw's like seat belted in, just sitting
Yeah.
Yeah,
next
he's
to him.
talking to. It's got googly eyes on it. I love you. I'm looking at what a bow saw is. Okay, great. Yep, that is what I was picturing. So that's good. Now I feel pretty powerful.
Can you show me?
Yeah, of
Because I'm imagining. Yeah.
Yeah. See, we belong at Bunnings.
Yeah, totally. I was imagining like the handle going over the top.
Yes, yeah,
Like a bow.
like a bow, but it's one side of the
What
saw.
are the chances?
No relation. So it turns out Durst had moved to Galveston, perhaps to lay low. He was getting heat from, a couple of suspicious deaths that were close to people he was close to.
Yeah.
And to do so, he posed as a mute woman named Dorothy Siner, a name he borrowed from a girl he went to school with. He was busted for the murder, and as discussed, there was a lot of evidence against him. It felt pretty open and shut. Word got back to McCormack's family, his first wife, and they were hopeful that the man they were sure had killed their Kathy was finally going to be brought to some sort of justice.
Right.
And when Durst was arrested, he didn't put up a fight. He was charged with murder, but released on bail of $300,000. Apparently, it's kind of a loophole, but in Texas, at least at the time, you had to be offered bail unless he basically had killed a cop, or like there was a certain level that it would mean that you were held without bail.
All he done is dismember a man and thrown him in the ocean. That's
So, right, not a flight risk.
While impersonating, while committing fraud, also in hiring
And-
that apartment.
has incredibly deep family pockets. So $300,000.
Nothing.
Nothing.
He's probably got that on him.
Who cares?
Yeah, well, part of the reason maybe he married again, he was able to, part of it sounds like it was so that if he died, the money wouldn't go back to his family. He added, a chunk of his own cash as well.
Yeah.
And he got a couple of million a year from a trust, I think, as well. And he wanted to make sure if he died that his wife, by convenience, she would get it instead of the family. So she was the one who was able to put up the $300,000, and an arrangement was scheduled for the 16th of October. But this might surprise you, he was a no-show.
What? But where was Dorothy?
Yes. Yeah, people did. They were like, "Oh, we've never seen them together." Dorothy and I keep wanting to call him Fred. Dorothy and Bobby.
Yeah.
According to Zeman, in November, Durst was spotted in Plano, Texas. So there's a big manhunt. He's on like America's Most Wanted on TV and stuff like that.
Wow.
By the time police got to Plano, though, which I'm sure is not how you say it, Plano, Texas. Maybe it's exactly
Feels
how you
right, yeah.
say it. By the time that the cops got there, he was gone. There are alleged Durst sightings in all sorts of places, in Northern California, in homeless shelters, even in Manhattan. After all, that's where his wife lived. And, he had places to stay there. But then there was a break in the case. Another, you think of how sloppy the other thing was. Get ready for a bit more sloppiness.
Slop it
Okay.
up.
So a man fitting Durst's description was held at a grocery store in Hanover Township, Pennsylvania, for stealing a sandwich. Amazingly, this is how he was found. Despite having $500 on him in cash, he was caught stealing a $5.49 chicken salad sandwich. It turned out Durst had been staying in a hotel nearby using another alias. This one's fantastic. Emilio Vinoni. He'd shaved off his hair and eyebrows. In the store where he was caught, he'd cut himself shaving and he was trying to put a Band-Aid on him. And then he had not just the $500 in cash on him, he had 37 grand in his car. There was no reason
To
for
shoplift
him.
a sandwich.
No.
Just
I mean,
buy the
good that he's
sandwich.
caught, but what an idiot.
Oh, yeah, massive idiot.
Yeah. He couldn't explain. He's like, I don't know what's going on here. And some people, it's almost like he wanted to get caught.
Exactly, yeah. It's like a
but if he
self-sabotage.
wanted to get caught, why did he was caught and he went
Yeah.
on the run. According to Zeman, locals had seen him wearing a brown wig and a white mustache and talking to himself. Inside the trunk of the car that he was now driving, cops found 2 handguns, a stash of marijuana. Apparently he's a big chuffer. 37K, all in hundreds. And Zeman suggests this was possibly the end of his nest egg. Weeks earlier, his wife, because the cops his assets had been frozen as well, obviously. Weeks earlier, his wife, Sheraton, tried to withdraw $1.8 million from one of his accounts, but that she wasn't able to do it because they were frozen. The car was traced back to Rent-A-Wreck in Mobile, Alabama. It had been picked up on the 17th of October. And this is, to me, this is weird stuff. The name he used, the fake name he used here on the rental agreement was Morris Black.
Yuck.
So...
Are we going to get to why he killed Morris Black?
I'm afraid it's a bit of a mystery, but...
Right.
He was a whinger.
Winter may be a bit nosy.
I think that's the main theory, is that he probably heard something he shouldn't have heard. Some say that maybe it was this one, it was so messy, maybe it was a real heat of the moment thing. But I don't like Bobby. He wasn't a big admitter of things.
No.
Sure, but and that is weird though, to check in under the name of the person
Yeah,
you've
that's
killed.
pretty
Ugh.
gross.
So he's held in jail for the next few years, waiting for his trial for the murder of Morris Black. According to Jones, he argues that he killed Black in self-defense after the older man threatened him with a gun, although he admits, quote, "I did dismember him."
In self-defense.
I mean, I think the idea was he panicked. He's like, "Oh, I've killed in self-defense. Now I've panicked and I don't want to get done for murder, so I dismembered him and tried to get rid of the body."
Yeah, they'll never believe me, but I didn't do it in cold blood.
During the trial, he also admits that his marriage to Sheraton was, quote, "a marriage of convenience," to give her power of attorney, etc.
She's in the audience going, "What the fuck?
Wait, what?
I love you."
I got a tattoo for you.
I thought he was taciturn. For People magazine, Maria Yagoda writes, another great name, "The Texas jury believed Durst's claim that he killed Black in self-defense and subsequently disposed of the body in a panic. And on the 11th of November 2003, he was found not guilty."
You're kidding me.
They bought the story.
That it was self-defense.
Yeah. I don't know how often that would happen, that self-defense leads to you carving up the body with a bow saw.
And then going on the run and using that man's name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, rich people can get great lawyers.
Not guilty. Wow.
Yeah.
And not even they can't even get him for second-degree murder or something like that because... Is it because they went after him for the first?
Yeah, and well, if they believe it's self-defense, then yeah.
Yuck.
The following year, he pleads guilty to tampering with evidence, though, and jumping bail. Hard to argue against
great.
that.
That's yes.
And that led to a sentence of 5 years, with credit for time served, and that meant he was released on parole the following year. He broke the conditions of his bail, though, pretty quickly, returning to the scene of the crime.
What the fuck?
And also he was basically meant to not leave a certain vicinity of his house. He also, he travelled and went to a mall. And this one was unlucky. He got busted at the mall as he bumped into the judge who presided over his murder trial.
No.
And apparently, like, they were both walking up to each other going, where do I know this guy from? And then
Doing a bit of an awkward smile.
and they had an awkward conversation because the judge didn't set the parole terms. So he didn't even know. It was only later that he was like, oh, yeah,
I read
he
into
wasn't meant
him.
to be there.
That's pretty
They made
funny.
small talk. Yeah.
That would be so weird, wouldn't it? Especially if the judge is thinking, I reckon you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently the judge was during the case, he was Durst was really aggressive to him. So he was like, at first, he was like, oh shit, what's going to happen here when they bumped into each other?
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I can tell he's actually really nervous. So he felt pretty safe, and they just had an awkward conversation.
Yeah, just buying a new sweater. Yeah.
And there were,
Then I'm going to go get a Wendy's. Yeah.
the judge,
Cool. Good to see you.
the judge was interviewed on an American, like a news chat show, and one of the questions was, "Oh, what shop were you in?" He's a cross-dresser. Were you buying women's dresses? And the judge was like, "No, we were just walking through the center of the mall." It's so funny. I mean,
News chat show.
I was cringing so hard reading the transcript. I haven't seen
Yeah.
the footage. Maybe it wasn't awkward, but it was like, oh, swinging a miss there, bro.
Yeah.
Breaking the parole meant he was back in jail. But great lawyer, and the lawyer said the parole conditions were a bit strict, so he got him out again. And
What, a man can't go to the mall? Officer.
man can't return to the scene of the crime.
I thought this was land of the free. And the judge is like, oh, shit. Yeah,
Whoa.
it is.
That is good.
Yeah.
Jeez, what an orator. Am I saying that right? That's what the judge would say. So yeah, 1st of March 2006, he was once again a free man. So he could have gone to the Melbourne Commonwealth Games. Is that right?
Oh, man.
Were they September that year?
Yeah, they were about that time.
About that
Just
time.
come with me to see the weightlifting or the men's gymnastics.
Yeah, I saw some basketball, saw
Did
some
you?
athletics.
I didn't see
Went to the
anything.
opening ceremony.
I was in Europe.
Oh, that
What
must
the
have been
hell?
awful. Well, my parents took me to a bunch of things because I missed the Sydney Olympics because I had chickenpox and they felt
Yes.
bad. So I went to the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games.
Which
and
was
it
at-
was fine.
At the G?
Yeah, I think so.
Who was the big act? Doesn't quite
churches,
have the same budget.
The church?
Oh, church. I'm like, churches. That's interesting.
It's pre-churches
The church.
Before
Yeah,
they went
sick.
plural.
before they went plural.
Under
And
the
put a
Milky
V
Way
in there.
tonight.
Yes.
What a tune. Did a scene with Steve Kilby, the singer.
Oh my gosh.
In between takes, I'm wearing a He-Man outfit. And in between takes, he's playing himself.
Of course he is.
And
You're playing He-Man.
in between takes, I go, sorry, Steve, I'm not really an actor. And he goes, no kidding.
That is brutal.
It was brutal. Like, yeah, I think we were joking together, but
Is he an actor?
no.
Great.
He was probably, I thought it was funny.
I'm ready to fight.
That's yeah. If I see that guy,
That's absurd.
Jess, you can tell him, I saw you at the Commonwealth Games. You're not a singer.
Yeah.
No kidding.
No kidding. He was like, what? I was like, that's for Matt Stewart.
Yeah, that's not.
He was like, who?
You might know him as He-Man.
What?
I'm going to ask what's this for. What was this for?
It was for Under the Milky Way.
Of course.
So, which you were both on as well.
That's right.
Dave as the Bandit
I was the Bandit. Yes, I had a local radio host.
and Jess as
Lorraine.
Lorraine, an assistant to the mayor or something like that.
Yeah, I was pretty dumb. Acting.
Acting.
Shane Dunlop writes women.
Pretty,
Pretty
dumb.
dumb. Interesting, Shane. Misogyny's showing.
Misogyny.
Misogyny.
Back to Durst.
So, yes, he's out and about, 2006. Not really, no big breaks in any sort of case or anything. And in 2010, people are interested in this story and also that he's getting away, like seemingly getting away.
Yeah.
This one's as clear as anything. There's some doubt still about
Yeah,
the other two.
You know how the public wanker guy got them investigating it again? Did that bring up any new evidence or anything like that?
Well, the guy it got a local cop really invested in the in the case,
Right.
who wasn't aware of it. He was too young when it happened, even though he was local. And he ended up, being a big part of, sticking with the case and working with the family and friends of Kathy.
I'm just really hoping that public wanker guy really, he mattered.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
He got him.
He mattered.
Because-
Things other than his pubic hair. So
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain, showcase your offerings with a professional website, grow your brand, and get paid. All in one place.
Man, I'm loving all of that. With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a bespoke online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business. Start with Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder, to get a fully custom website in just a few steps. Using basic information about your industry goals and personality to generate premium quality content and personalized design recommendations. Squarespace also offers a complete library of professionally designed and award-winning website templates with options for every use and category. It's easy and intuitive. No experience required, which is good because I have none.
Neither do I. I also love that Squarespace gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one place. From consultations to events and experiences, showcase your offerings with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. Get paid on time with professional on-brand invoices and online payments. They just make it easy.
That's right. So head to squarespace.com/dogoon for a free trial and to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Hey, this is Josie Santi from the Every Girl podcast, and this episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dressed season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and your everyday wardrobe, discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy, too, with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
So,
In 2010, a movie is released titled All Good Things. It was directed by a guy called Andrew Jarecki and was based on Kathy's disappearance. Well, the names were changed enough to be like...
like a feature, not a doco. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Durst character, who was named something else, John Marks or something like that, was played by Ryan Gosling,
Really?
which is a real glow up
Very
for
flattering.
Bobby.
Yeah.
You'd be stoked with that, wouldn't you?
And Kathy was played by Kirsten Dunst, or the Kathy role. According to Jones, that year Durst saw the film, or not, let me do it in present tense as Jones like to do. That year, Durst sees the film at a private screening and later tells the New York Times, quote, "Parts made me cry."
Oh.
Against the advice of his lawyer, he contacts the film's director, Jarecki, to offer a lengthy sit-down interview. His lawyers and stuff are like, don't do this.
Director probably doesn't even want this. What?
Yeah,
he's already made the film.
Yeah. He's like, no, I can't. I guess he was flattered by Gosling playing him and stuff like that, even though the film heavily implied that his character was responsible for 3 murders. He was like, no, I'd like to do an interview with Jarecki. Jarecki is like, okay. And this interview becomes the basis for HBO's show The Jinx. So if he didn't do that, that probably would have been, he would have just lived this, or maybe he would have killed again, I don't know, but he would have, if he could stop from killing,
Those 3 wouldn't have caught up with him again.
he would have probably just, lived a free man. But no, he wanted a bit of time in the sun, I guess. Wanted to tell the story his way. During the interviews with Jarecki, he denied any culpability in the deaths of Kathy McCormack and Susan Berman. Obviously, he couldn't say the same for Morris Black because he's like, I did kill him, but it was in self-defense. Jarecki later gets his hands on an envelope addressed to Berman from Durst. Like, because he's now basically investigating it himself.
Yeah.
Working with Kathy's family, Kathy McCormack. She changed her name to Durst, but I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Kathy McCormack. Her family is, they're all kind of communicating a bit. And, yeah, this letter that is uncovered is from Durst, handwritten from Durst to Berman, and it matches the handwriting of the cadaver letter.
Right.
Oh, Beverly Hills misspelled.
Including the same misspelling of Beverly Hills.
Wow.
Oh, God. And how did he get this letter?
He got it through, it's all shown in the doco.
On Etsy, I think.
Yeah. I think he outbid.
The mysterious wrestling. You really got me. I was like, have you seen the doco? Fuck.
Acting.
Sorry. That's great. That's really good.
I'd love to know how Dave thought that made sense.
Yeah.
Well, it took a second. Like, oh, okay. It is a comedy show.
It was crafted.
Yeah, 500 eps in, sometimes we forget to.
Yeah, God, but that
Dear
is...
listeners, when you're like, this isn't funny.
I feel like it might have been like Susan Berman's son or something like, I think that's right. And I think from memory, you should watch the doco because there's all sorts of other stuff going on and it is gripping.
Yeah.
And they ended up making a second season because of what happened during the filming of the first season and the airing of the first season. But yeah, I think it was the son who had really taken a shining to Bobby. He was giving him cash and that sort of stuff. He sort of believed him, but in the end, I think he handed over this letter and it was like, well, this is pretty big evidence.
Yes, the exact handwriting and misspelling.
Crazy.
There are parts of the documentary. They said there's a part where he just he's really nervy and he sort of practices phrases. Durst.
Yeah.
But I was like before they're about to sit
yeah,
down.
Yeah, and they're rolling a lot. And he seems to, when the mic's hot often, and he's sitting there with his lawyers like, hey, the mic's on, and he's just sort of like running through phrasing of...
I didn't do it. I did not do it.
Yeah, well,
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
It's not that far off, to be honest.
That's really funny.
In 2012, Jarecki interviews Durst again, and he confronts him with the envelope, sort of blindsides it with him on camera. And Jones writes that Durst is unable to identify which handwriting is not his. They show him the two and said, which one's your... If you didn't write them both, one of these you definitely wrote. We know you did. Which one is it? And he's like, I'm not sure. He couldn't tell, which is like, okay, that's interesting. Then, in the bathroom afterwards, Durst mutters to himself, and this is how they finished season 1 of the Jinx. He mutters to himself while his mic is still hot. He's having a piss. The toilet flushes.
That's good.
Good
to know.
And he says, there it is. You're caught. What the hell did I do? Killed them all, of course.
It's really unnerving, actually. It's really creepy.
And apparently, which is like, I mean, watching it and it was like, holy shit.
And that's how it finishes.
Yeah. Holy shit. It turns out that they've edited it a bit, made it sound more coherent than it was.
They edited in the flush because they were like...
They edited out the flush, actually. But in court, this ends up getting played in court and there's the flush. And it is... I'll read out what the transcript soon. But apparently, I didn't realise this until last night. Even though I was caught on mic, they had so much footage. They're not listening to him while he's pissing.
Yeah.
They didn't know they had that for 2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Someone's just listening back and going, holy crap.
Yes.
He just said he did it.
Yeah. And just before they found that, the investigation for another reason was reopened into Susan Berman's death. And according to Jones, when the 5th episode of The Jinx aired on HBO, introducing the crucial cadaver envelope, Durst again went on the run. And at the same time, a Los Angeles judge signs a warrant for Durst's arrest for the murder of Susan Berman. So it's sort of closing in on him. Then on the 14th of March 2015, the day before the Jinx finale, the FBI arrests Durst in New Orleans, where he is thought to be planning an escape to Cuba. At the time of his arrest, Durst is in possession of a gun, $40,000, and a latex mask. The LAPD denies that the show had anything to do with the timing of Durst's arrest, but it feels like a funny coincidence.
Right. It does sound like it had something to do with the timing of him going on the run.
Yeah. No, we only did it then because he was about to flee. And maybe he was about to flee because the final episode was about to air, but I don't think you can draw any conclusions there.
We don't even have HBO down at the station.
Yeah.
We've only got basic cable, so.
I don't even own a TV.
I've never seen TV.
So he's busted, he's arrested, and he goes on trial for the murder of Susan Berman, a woman who saw him as her brother. Supposedly they were best friends, but you'd love him to go, all right, here's the story, here's what happened, but he didn't. He pleaded not guilty.
It's worked for him before, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. During the case, it is revealed that the recorded confession that was played on the Jinx, there it is, you're caught, what the hell did I do? Killed them all, of course, was actually edited by the documentary makers.
That's a bit dodgy, to be honest.
Yeah, I find it really annoying. Because you're like, documentaries they do manipulate things sometimes, and they did it in other ways, and you go, oh, how much manipulation did you do?
Because you say, there it is, but I didn't do it.
Yeah. It's not, well...
I did not do it.
Didn't kill those people, of course.
Yeah, there's got all those things.
It wasn't like it was that manipulated. It was just tightened up in a way that made it much more succinct.
Right, okay.
Bagley writes, the filmmakers defend their edits as being entirely representative of what Mr. Durst said, but other documentarians, like a guy called Mark J. Harris, an Academy Award-winning filmmaker and professor at the University of South Carolina, who actually taught one of the other makers of the Jinx, a guy called Mark Smerling, he questioned it, saying, the editing is problematic. They put those lines together in a way that's very damning, but it is definitely more ambiguous in the transcript. So here is, maybe I'll also say Deputy District Attorney, one putting the case forward for the prosecution in court, a guy called John Lewin, stressed to jurors, though, that while the audio was edited before it appeared in the dramatic finale of the Jinx, the original version was no less damaging. So this is the transcript as I believe it to be, and a few bits. There are bits that say unintelligible. He's pissing, just mumbling to himself.
Yeah. Oh, just keep pissing. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Not everybody has to say that to themselves.
Yeah, okay. Almost done.
Come on.
You're doing
Feel
so
the
well.
flow. Feel the
I'm
flow.
so proud of
Okay,
you.
no one's watching. It's okay.
Waterfalls. Waterfalls.
Relax.
Rain. A leaky tap.
Okay, so sorry. What is it?
Okay, here's unintelligible. Then, I don't know what you're expected to get. I don't know what's in the house. Oh, I want this. Killed them all, of course. Unintelligible. I want to do something new. There's nothing new about that. Inaudible, but possibly disaster. He was right. I was wrong. The burping. I'm having difficulty with the question. What the hell did I do? So it's
What?
very different.
That is so different.
So different.
That is the ravings of a madman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
interesting.
piece together all the bits that they use.
The three bits they use were killed them all, of course. So there's a couple of lines, and killed them all, of course. Then a few more lines. Then what the hell did I do? So he said, what the hell did I do? And the way they presented it was he asked that question and then said, killed them all, of course. But it was...
Oh, come on.
They were totally separate thoughts.
And what about the bit that you're caught? Was that said at all?
No, it was all said, but it was just like this. It was sort of spread out and sporadic.
Oh, man. Because it really
It's
sounds
entirely
like,
different.
That's so
It
different.
is.
Yes.
And they're being
Just
like...
so disappointing because, I remember seeing that go around and being like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's chilling. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm like, are they... So
and it's not like they cleaned it up for, all right, we just scrubbed the bits where you couldn't understand what he's
Yes.
saying. 'Cause
Yeah.
who knows? We don't want to say what he said because we don't know what he said. And then we just cut out the middle crappy bits. They actually shifted the order and
Yeah.
answered a question that he didn't ask.
Yeah, that's right. They fully changed the implication of that. Like, it was just like, killed them all, of course. I mean, it doesn't sound great, but
No.
it's not at all like how they presented it.
Yeah.
Right.
Bit of a bummer, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's any less guilty at this stage.
No,
but
no,
I just
that's
do think
right.
that they.
Yeah.
It sounded like they've absolutely got him.
Yeah.
But I don't know how this ends. It does sound like he could, from this, get away with it, because that sounds like just someone ranting to themselves, muttering to themselves.
Yes. They also, like there are articles saying in some ways, you know, the makers of this documentary are also kind of on trial because it's like, should you be able to do that? And a lot of people are like, no, I don't think you should be able to.
I don't think so. From
And
not having seen it, but hearing the 2 transcripts read there, I'm like, wow, that's completely different.
Yeah, it's not quite the same, but like Homer Simpson, you know, like
That sweet can.
if he was doing that on camera, you wouldn't be able to edit it like that. It's only because it's audio that they were able
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
They must have known that it was a bit dodgy.
But it made for a very impactful season finale.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. I mean, they probably go, well, it wouldn't have got the attention if we didn't do that. During the trial, Durst's lawyers finally conceded that he did in fact write and send the cadaver letter to police. They weren't sure how to deal with that.
They were hoping an answer will come to us.
Yeah.
And it never did.
But they did say that didn't mean he killed her, saying, quote, what the note demonstrates is that the person who mailed it was aware that there was a body at the house, not that the individual murdered Susan Berman, which is true, but it's like, why deny it for so long if you had written the letter?
But it's the same thing with Morris Black, isn't it? Why cut up the body and throw
Yeah.
it into the harbour if you did it in self-defense?
Yeah.
Well, it worked. It worked last time.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And what, like, using the word cadaver about your best friend?
Really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you walked into a house and found your best friend shot dead,
You'd call the
call
cops.
the cops and be like, oh my God,
Yeah, you'd call an ambulance probably
Yes,
right off the
both-
bat
both
and just
things
like
say-
really...
she's been shot in the head. I need help.
Finally, on the 17th of September 2021, Durst is convicted of the murder of Susan Berman
2021. Wow.
and is sentenced, well, not on that day, but later sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The following month, New York police charged him with the murder of his wife, Kathy. So this is, 40
That's
years later.
Huge for the family, though.
Huge, yes. And there is footage, if you watch season 2 of The Jinx, there's footage of the family watching the confession and different moments of the first seasons of The Jinx. And you just you see the sort of relief and
Oh.
not relief, but I mean, it would be
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
a strange feeling, but it's like,
There is a bit of relief, yeah.
thank God that this is catching up with him in some way. Because he
Yeah.
just, they're like, we want justice for Kathy, and he
Yeah.
keeps sort of getting
Yeah.
away with it. But I'm afraid it sort of still ends pretty heartbreakingly. Oh, I should say, I've written this pretty good line here. But just as the movie about his life, All Good Things, came to an end on the 10th of January 2022, so did his life. Even though that wasn't a good thing. He went into cardiac arrest at a Californian hospital and died soon after.
Oh.
But as Danny, this is I'm afraid it's a bit of a bummer of an ending because I'd love to have just finished it there.
Yeah.
He died. Justice was coming for him and he died, which I think you could take it like that. He died knowing he was charged for
Yes.
2 murders he until that point had got away with. One of them he was found guilty of. When he died, he was in the process of appealing the Susan Berman conviction.
Oh, yuck.
But as Danny Anguano writes for The Guardian, and yeah, I'm afraid this is an unsatisfying end to the story. He died on the 10th of January. I mean, this part is pretty satisfying. In a Californian hospital while serving a life sentence for shooting his best friend. Interestingly, Anguano suggested it the motives were clear. He's saying he shot her in the back of the head at her Los Angeles home in 2000 as she was preparing to tell police what she knew about McCormack's death.
Right.
Just weeks after he was sentenced for Berman's killing, a New York grand jury indicted him on second-degree murder charge in McCormack's case. But the 78-year-old's death upended both cases, bringing the McCormack charges to a halt and, thanks to a quirk in the Californian law, seeing the Berman murder conviction rendered void because the case was under appeal when he died.
Really?
Yeah. So he was found guilty, but technically that was voided when he died because it was under appeal.
Ah.
Which is but really, he's dead. So
And they can't sue for defamation, so he did it. We know he did it.
Yeah.
And the family's still going through. I think they're suing for wrongful death of his widow, his second wife, and I don't know where that's at. But I just hope that they got some closure from, because obviously it was way rougher when it was just there was no charges brought before the Jinx was shown, even or put together. It probably was looking like there would have been, he would have just been remembered as a suspect.
Right, and if he hadn't arrogantly done the interviews,
Yeah.
which he volunteered to do,
Exactly.
not even requested him to do. Wow, and they never found Kathy's body, obviously.
No.
And they don't know what happened to her.
And I don't think they ever found Morris Black's head either, as far as I know.
Wow.
Gosh, that's so
That's
awful.
awful.
That's so
Yeah.
awful.
What a monster.
Yeah. So interesting, so gripping, and we all know true crime is very popular for these reasons. Makes you feel all sorts of things.
Yeah.
That's right, because it is real people.
And it is, it's an interesting one in this case because the true crime media actually led to developments and maybe him getting closer to being brought to justice than he would have otherwise.
But he lived like a large percentage of his life as a free man and getting away
He
with
did.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was only when he started looking for the bit of the limelight that he spent a lot of the rest of his life in jail from that point on.
Yeah.
Even though he was dodging when he should have been found guilty of the Morris Black thing and others, he ended up in jail for a bunch of time anyway.
Yeah. Yes, okay.
Yeah, strange old story.
I felt like that was the one. I couldn't remember if it was the Jinx or the documentary The Staircase, where the guy, I remember the bit where he admits it on a microphone. But I also did not know that they had manipulated it. So
No.
I wasn't sure the whole time if it was going to be that one or the other one.
Yeah.
Why do they call it the Jinx?
I don't know that for sure, but
I just Googled it. Well, I was Googling him before.
Yeah.
I could just let you answer the question.
Well, my guess was that it's just like, wherever he goes, misery sort of follows, but it's not. That was my interpretation of it, but obviously he's not a Jinx. He's actively
I just wasn't sure if
misery. Is it something else?
Actually, I wasn't sure if I was asking the dumbest question ever and I'd missed the bit. Remember, that was his nickname the whole time.
It was along those lines. I can't find it now. It was one of those things that like people also searched for, but I think it was that like he didn't want to have kids because he hadn't had a good childhood and thought of himself as a bit of a Jinx.
Right.
And because he was like, because people around me keep dying. Because you kill them, you fucker.
Yeah.
What are the chances?
I know.
Such a Jinx.
It's, oh man, I'm just bad luck, I guess. It's like, no, you're a murderer.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's bad luck.
But they're two different things. Bad luck and murder.
That was fascinating, Matt. And like you say, there's a lot of feelings around true crime and that kind of stuff, but it is so gripping and interesting, that story.
Yeah.
Yes, appreciate people suggesting it, and the patrons who voted for it was so close. I think I put like 7 or 8 options up, and it was split all over the place. It got, as a topic, it got about 20% of the vote, winning only by a couple of votes.
Wow.
With about 800 voters.
Huge.
Isn't that wild? Yeah. My most recent report was similar ratio.
It was really refreshing, the thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta get going on this.
Yeah.
I gotta get going. Somebody please, one of these topics really needs to pull out in front.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to everyone's favourite section of the show, where we thank some of our fantastic supporters. If you want to be one of these supporters, you can sign up on any level. And there are many different levels at patreon.com/dogoonpod, depending on budget and what things you want and stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that, including bonus episodes. We're up to 4 a month. It's crazy over there.
Pretty much every Sunday.
Yeah,
Apart
bonus
from,
episode.
some of those months that just drag on and on.
And they're
February, though, every Sunday.
February it keeps it tight.
Yeah.
But yes, we do movie club and bonus reports and games and our D&D campaign. A lot of fun. You can also get tickets ahead of time you get the first pick of tickets to live shows we do.
And discount codes. And you're the first to hear about streams we're doing or shows or whatever we're up to. Yeah. I can't think of anything else.
No, I think that's a perfect amount of things.
Okay.
Did you mention the Facebook group?
Nah.
Well, that's another thing.
Okay. Facebook group. It's a friendliest corner of the internet.
Yeah. Get involved in the Facebook group's mum, Sophie Shooter.
They do swaps.
Shooter, sorry. They organise all sorts of... It's a cap swaps on at the moment.
Yeah.
And, you sign up and then you buy someone a cap, they buy you a cap.
It's cute.
I know it sounds like a cult, but it's not a cult.
It's not a cult. And if it is, it's like a pretty nice one.
Yeah. The cordial is just cordial.
Yeah.
The
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get the idea.
You get
There's
the idea.
bonus.
There's lots of stuff there. One of the things, if you sign up on the Sydney Schomburg level or above, you get to be involved in this section of the show, which is called Fact, Quote, or Question, which actually has a jingle go something like this.
Fact, quote, or question. Oh.
He always remembers the ding. She always remembers the scene. And in this section of the show, you get to give us a fact, quote, or question, or a brag, or a suggestion, or really whatever you like, and I'll read them out on the show. We got 2 this week, and boy howdy, are they crackers. I'll be honest with you, I haven't read them, I never do. but odds are.
Yeah, if history is to repeat itself, as it always does, they're going to be crackers.
Yeah, they just have always been that way.
Okay.
So the first one comes from Bob McBobbity Bobbington, a.k.a. Capitaine of Getting Annoyed. You're the only other person I know who pronounces Capitaine like that. El Clapitano.
El Clapitano, that's right.
And when I say pronounces it, because he's obviously written it, he spelt it phonetically like Capitaine. Anyway, Bob's Capitaine of Getting Annoyed. And he's got a tip. Have we ever had a tip before? I like this.
I'm not sure.
I like that as an idea.
But thank you for the money.
Hey?
Bit of fun. Because I assume it's more like advice tip,
Yes.
but I'm just being cheeky.
Well, this might have been before your time, but there was a classic Pizza Hut campaign in the 90s, and Dougie was the and we've had a Dougie today. Dougie was
when
the
we were talking
pizza
about
boy.
Dougie on this episode, I thought about Dougie.
Dougie the pizza boy, because he delivered a pizza, maybe even to his own house, and the dad takes it, and Dougie goes, "How's about a tip?" And the dad goes, "Work hard and be good to your mother." Hey, bit of fun. He
Dougie.
misunderstood tip.
Or did he?
Exactly.
Classic dad.
Classic dad.
My second favourite Pizza Hut ad, number one, of course, being the Pizza Hut dog, the Pizza Mutt. And it would deliver from the car to the house.
I don't recall
Little
that one.
dog. And I think a slice might have been missing.
So someone else had to drive the car.
So,
But we're paying 2 employees.
And then when you get your pizza, a dog has eaten a slice. So it's pretty gross.
Yeah, that's not a great campaign.
But I remember the Pizza Mutt.
I mean, you dog people would probably love it. You're like, oh, I love it. I love when I kiss my dog on the mouth. I like it when they're eating my food. Slobber, and strangers' dogs are.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love to share a sandwich with my dog.
I was being hyperbolic.
We go bite for bite.
But this is a stranger dog. This is the Pizza Mutt.
Oh, yuck.
I'm watching the Pizza Mutt on YouTube right now. Oh, it's
Dave,
scary.
can you
Dave,
come
come on,
back
mate.
into the room with us,
Come
please?
on, mate.
Come
Come back
on, mate.
to us, Dave.
3 loads of cheese.
What's the tip?
I also love dogs. The tip is...
He hates dogs.
I love dogs.
Okay, what's the tip?
The tip is... I just heard the Abraham Lincoln episode. Just felt changing bed sheets required a minimum of 2 people. While I don't like doing it alone simply because I'm lazy, I was given this tip for the duvet cover part you may find useful. Where do they say duvet? That's English, isn't it?
Yep.
It's very fancy sounding. Oh, the duvet.
The duvet. Yeah, I'm thinking like frilly stuff.
Yeah.
Duvet.
Oh,
la-dee-da.
duvet.
Or duvet.
Duvet on. That could be our bedding spin-off.
No, it's a pod we do from bed.
Oh, my God.
We all get in one big bed,
Yeah.
but not in a weird way, just in a snuggly way.
Yeah.
Not a weird way. You've
Not
all
a
got
weird-
pants on.
Oh. All right, I guess.
We've all got either pants or tops on.
Okay.
Dave's Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Hang it. Anyway, Bob goes on. If not already inside out, hold the cover by the corners first from the open end and turn inside out. Still holding the corners, pick up the duvet with the corner in each hand. Did I give you this tip? This is how I do it, Bob.
Keep going. I'm listening.
Bobby,
You've never made a bed in your life.
I'd make every bed I ever see. I see about it, I'll make it.
I have to close my bedroom door when Matt comes
Yeah,
over.
stop. Get out of there.
Get out! It was already made.
Visiting orphanages is a nightmare. Trying to think of a place with lots of beds.
Hostels?
Hostels, yeah.
Why'd you just go straight to
Oh, we watched
Hospitals?
Annie. We watched Annie recently.
Yeah. There's so
for our
many
movie
places
club.
with lots of beds.
Hospital would have been better.
Hospital,
Hotels.
40 winks.
exactly. Bed
Well,
shop.
they're not normally unmade beds, Dave.
Yeah, but
The
you don't-
mattresses.
But you don't care if it's unmade or made because they might have done it wrong. You have to redo
Oh,
it.
yeah, I'll redo it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Reduvet on.
Redo. No, I need to hear this tip. This is changing my life.
Okay. Well, it's not changing mine because I know it already.
Well, I don't know.
It's weird that he hasn't credited me on it.
All right, you're a big man. We get it.
I change every bed I see.
Now, carefully keeping the corners of the duvet and cover together, move them together to hold with one hand and push the cover down the duvet to turn the right side out. For the last bit, hold the two corners in two hands again and shake it to work the cover over the rest.
Give it a flick.
Then just do a little finagling to get the open end corners correct. Possibly shake again, then do up the opening. I've probably made it sound more complex / stupid than it is, but it's made life that little bit easier for me.
I think it sounds beautiful.
Sounds very nice.
Also, be careful with the rest, as I know someone who broke their finger changing the mattress over. It's a dangerous world in here, as well as out there.
Oh, God, that would be
so
such a
embarrassing.
bad day.
Turning up to the ED like, I'm so embarrassed.
The worst thing is when Matt did it, you have to still be changing the hospital beds with a
Yeah.
broken finger.
It's a nightmare. Bob signs off saying pip pip and toodaloo. Thank you so much. That's a great tip, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
I
probably won't follow that advice.
No, well, you don't need to. You just have me over, don't you?
Yeah. That's why you come over on a weekly basis.
That's right.
Every Sunday, and I just leave the fresh sheets sitting on the bed with the door slightly ajar. And
I fall for it every week.
I lose Matt for about 10 minutes.
Oh
and
my
then
God, Jess is having me over. How nice.
Sunday brunch.
She said there's certainly nothing in it for her. Thank you, Bob. Next one comes from Nick Verderosa, aka the American Bandit Healer, with a question, writing, "Hey."
How's that spelled?
I got to tell you, when I started the word, I thought it was going to be hey. And then I realized it was here, and I think I covered it quite nicely.
You got away with it.
Hey!
Here in America. Oh, maybe I should do it in American accent. Here in America, we are going crazy for the Australian phenomenon known as Bluey. Not sure if you are in on the craze, but I wanted to ask which character you most identify with.
Whoa.
Also, if you have watched, what is your favorite character episode? Being a dad of two myself, I am definitely a bandit.
Okay, I can hear Dave typing, so he's currently Googling
Hey,
characters.
whoa. I love Bluey. I've seen them all.
He is the best dad in TV history, and I've learned a lot from him. My favorite episode is Unicourse, which makes me crack up every time. I have seen...
I've seen a bit of Bluey.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you any episodes, but I've seen it. And I know Bandit is voiced by Custard frontman David McCormack. So I'm
True.
going to say
Bandit.
Bandit.
Great.
Because I love custard.
Mm-hmm.
Band and dessert.
Good choice.
Favorite episode 1. I think
Yes.
they set a lot of it up.
Yeah.
Good one.
Often I say give a new show 3 episodes to
Oh.
let it sort of settle in. Didn't need to with Bluey. Perfect at number 1.
Yeah.
No, I've seen bits and pieces of Bluey. I haven't watched a lot of it, but I've got a niece who loves it.
I've seen Christmas specials.
Yes, I identify with Bingo, who's a little sister.
Oh, yeah.
Bingo's really cute, and I like Bingo, and she's funny.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, they're all
I'm
really
cute.
funny though, right? Like it's a funny show, but it's also like a nice show. But
Yeah.
it's not corny, but it is
got a bit
sentimental,
of
but not to
heart,
the
yeah.
point of it being yuck.
But would you agree that Bingo's really cute?
Yeah.
And would you agree that I'm really cute?
Yeah.
So,
Ipso facto.
need I say more? Dave, after your frantic Googling over there, have you got a
Yes.
really genuine, authentic answer for
I
us?
love Calypso.
Oh, that's a great name.
It was by Megan Washington.
Yep.
It says here, to be fair,
Megan Washington.
Yeah. Meg does some voices.
to be
Meg,
fair,
hang
some
on, Dave.
voices.
Sorry, Dave. Jess just dropped in. Are you friends with Megan Washington?
No, I think she just prefers to go by Meg.
Fair enough.
a friend would know
Dave.
that.
A friend would know.
Are you kind of is?
I've never met Megan Washington, but I would love to.
Okay.
I think she has a phenomenal voice.
So cool.
Very talented musician. Her debut album blew my frickin' mind.
Like a Version was Santeria by Sublime.
That's a good choice.
One of my all-time faves.
Basically, I'm sure that my world is about to become Bluey-centric.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a 15-month-old, so it's not quite there yet.
It's this generation's Wiggles,
But
probably.
I just have never watched it because I assume that one day I'll watch all of
You'll
it.
see all of
Yeah.
it, and they're short episodes, so
Yeah.
you'll see all of it multiple times.
Yeah, but I hear it's one of the shows that kids and parents alike all enjoy.
So
So I'm
my-
looking forward to it.
My best friend's kid is about to turn 3, and she likes to request a little bit of Bluey, is what she says.
What is that, like half an episode?
A little bit of Bluey. It's obviously because her parents have said you can watch a little bit of Bluey.
Yeah.
And then so now she goes, how about a little bit of
It
Bluey?
sounds like she's asking for cracked pepper at a restaurant.
A little bit. It's
uh,
very funny. And she turns
really
3
good.
this weekend, and I have bought her multiple pairs of items of clothing that have Bluey on them.
Very good.
She's going to lose her frickin' mind.
Christmas Swim, I'm looking up. Christmas Swim is an episode that I reckon was great. And Veranda Santa, just fun to say.
Yeah.
Veranda Santa.
So if you haven't, done yourself a favour, maybe check out a little bit of Bluey.
A little bit of Bluey. And I liked it. Apparently Disney, when they were getting the rights to it, they were pushing for it to be revoiced, and the creators said, no deal. It's either take it as is with our original cast or no deal.
And good, because we get so much American media and stuff like that. Why can't
Nice to give a little something back.
give a little something back and give a bloody great show
Although
back.
we've been revoiced in the US.
Yeah,
Us?
well, yeah, we are.
of course.
Obviously, so you're not hearing. If you're hearing this in the US, this is not my actual voice you're listening to.
Yeah,
right now.
I'm played by Matt Berry. Which is weird.
Ah!
I just realised you said US. They thought it would be easy to get a British comedian.
I'm voiced by Reese Darby. Very confusing.
Voiced by Claudia Carvin.
That's a good choice.
That is-
That's a great choice.
Great
Yeah,
choice,
great
wonderful
choice.
actor.
Yes. Better enunciated than you, I'm guessing.
Agreed.
What was the question?
Yeah,
Do we
favorite
answer
Bluey
that?
character
Yeah.
and favorite Bluey episode. So I'll come back to you in the next couple of years.
Nick, follow up. Nick is a prolific fact quota question writer. Literally, he's got 4 more submissions,
That's great.
and
Lined up.
there are 6 more submissions in the hat.
Okay.
That's a strong hit rate. There's a bunch of people on that level we never hear from. They have the right to write in, and they just
Yep.
they waive that right.
Yep.
Well, they don't. Yeah, I don't know if they waive it. Maybe they just don't want it. That's waiving it. All right. I couldn't think of it.
They're not waving it. They're just opting out.
Maybe they're drowning. I could not think. I'm going to counterpoint this. Could not think of one.
Why do you have to fight Dave so much?
Well, sometimes it's just for comedy.
I just wish you two could get along.
We got a bit of comedy. You just sound like a fool.
The joke was on you. You try to make a joke and said it was on
He
you.
said that and then took a smug little sip of his drink. Like,
Out of a little bamboo
I
straw.
just stood up for you. Why do I bother?
Thank you. I loved it.
But Nick, if you haven't, look up Custard. Apartment. Classic pop rock song. What a riff. Dave, favourite Custard song?
Apartment?
Fantastic. I also like The New Matthews, great one.
Oh, yeah, great. What about Funky again?
Oh, yeah. More recent stuff.
Yeah.
Very good.
But girls like that don't go for guys like us,
Yeah.
in brackets.
I want to see the facts. This time, it's serious. They say there's... All right, I will probably
Move on.
move on. but I want to just start singing Custard. I want to put that on the record.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They said there's
And off he goes.
My God, it's going to be hard to not do that.
And we're back. He sang every single Custard song and he got it out of the system.
Thank you very much to Nick and Bob for their facts, quotes, and questions. If you are on that level, please get them in. DM me on Patreon if you need the link. The next thing we like to do is shout out to a few of our other fantastic supporters. Normally, Jess comes up with a game based on the topic.
Okay, how about, because obviously this is a pretty grim topic, but because didn't he have a couple of aliases that were like people he went to school with?
He did at least 2 where they figured out later, just people he had no contact with, it just names. He's like,
is it because you just would remember it? There's just names in your head
locked in.
You're gonna remember forever.
So let's just dox people we went to school with.
Okay.
And just straight up, like, don't pre-plan anybody, just see what happens.
Are we doxing? I don't know if we're doxing, are we?
No, I'm just having a bit of fun.
But I'm just saying, I'm just double checking. Do you want us to fully dox?
Fully dox, name, address, and if you do know if they've been married and changed their name, give us both.
Okay, great.
And child's name.
And
any children they've got.
Any children they
Full
have,
name.
and primary school the children go to.
Right.
Nothing weird.
Nothing weird. Let's just fully dox some people we haven't seen for 20 plus years.
Love it.
Or in Matt's case, 400 years.
So that's the nickname we're giving to the people.
It's just like their alias.
Not their nickname.
Sorry,
Come on,
Did
have
you
some
listen to
respect.
this episode today?
Which episode?
Did you think Robert Durst was giving himself nicknames?
Such cool nicknames. So this episode had some of the best names we've ever had.
Oh,
really did.
phew. So now we have to try and top it with just like dull people we went to school with.
Okay.
So how are we going to do this? I guess we just do it one for one.
Yeah.
All right. I read out place and name. Jess does the pseudonym. Jess reads it out. Dave does the pseudonym like that. What do you think?
I do the pseudonym.
Yeah, you do.
Alias. Did we listen to this episode? That felt so good.
All right.
Okay.
Oh my God. This has got to be one of the greatest place names I've ever heard. And we from Rancho Cucamonga in California in the United States, thanks to Stephen Parrish.
New alias, Trent Nutt.
Is that real? Yes, we're not going to be able to top that.
Dave, you are laughing at a real person's name.
We can't top Nut.
Trent.
His mum's name was Pauline. Mail addressed to her said Peanut.
Oh my God.
Fuck, that's awesome.
We
That's
can't
so
beat
good.
that.
I'm not laughing. I'm living. I'm here. That
Trent,
gives me
if
life.
you're listening,
I'm
how are you, bud?
I'm getting strength from Trent Nutt.
how's things? I had a crush on you in grade 4.
Oh, wow. And
Short-lived.
reciprocated? No.
Crush the nut.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Crush nuts.
That's why I'm asking Trent
Something
Nutt.
there, something
Let me
there.
know 20 years ago. No, 25 years ago, you had a shot. All right, Jess is going to read out the name now.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I went straight to Facebook to look up Trent Nutt, who I hadn't thought about in a long time. Next up, I would like to thank from Ringwood, Victoria. Nivar is not just a planet in the Vulcan system.
Oh, that's
Well, that's an
Beautiful
interesting
name for a
name,
boy
but I
girl.
think that
Beautiful.
your new name, your alias is Chloe Calange.
Oh, Chloe Calange. Incredible.
Holy shit. I
Great
don't
name. Haven't thought about Chloe. That's I like you said, emptied my mind.
Empty brain. See what comes.
Great name, popped in.
Chloe.
That's a great name. Dave, do you want to thank someone?
I would like to thank from a location unknown to us, deep within the Fortress of the Moles, what we can only presume, and this is Deshingus. Yes, that was my little throat going because I had that smug sip of juice before.
I'm not sure that would have picked up on,
I know, but I couldn't not.
but we heard it.
Yeah,
I reckon I heard it through the cans.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you got picked up. Burp.
Arr.
It's Deshingus.
The Shingus.
The Shingus, now known as Richard Wexler.
Oh.
Really? God, that's a
It's a
great.
great
Dick
name. but-
Wexler.
Oh my God. I don't think we ever got
It's a
on
bit
that
funny.
as kids.
It's a bit funny.
Dick Wexler.
Dick Wexler.
I'm Dick Plexed. Dick Wexed. No,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Richard Wexler.
Whatever, I don't
He
care.
was a great drawer. I haven't seen him since.
400 years.
He went to a different high school, but he was a great drawer
Okay.
and real tall. I wonder if he still is. Both of those things. We'll
so.
no way to know. I'd love to thank you so much, the Shingus. I'd also love to thank from Preston here in Melbourne, Victoria, Tia Evans. Holy shit, that's a great name.
Okay, Tia Evans, Shayna Leia.
Shayna Leia.
What school? This is... No, don't say what school. Then you're getting into doxing territory.
Shayna Leia.
Shayna Leia. You've got Nut and Leia. Are they all sex names? Leia? I hardly know her.
This is primary school. These are children. It was Leyer, I think. No, I could be wrong. Anyway, it just popped into my head. I'm clearing my mind and just picturing...
Clear it out.
Picturing school.
Yeah.
So thanks, Shayna. Hope you're well. Next up, from Colorado Springs in Colorado, Carl Habiger.
Carl Habiger, aka Darren Keys.
Ooh.
Oh, Darren Keys. That's a name you could set your clock to.
Keys?
I don't want to dox completely, but yes.
Bloody hell.
That's a good one.
That's a good name.
Good on you, Darren. Haven't thought about you in a while. Hope you're going well.
All right. Dave, who are you thinking?
I would like to thank from... Where are we up to? Oh, Batehaven in New South Wales. Thank you to X Dylan. And every letter is capitalised except the Y.
Oh.
X Dylan.
X Dylan, now known as Yinja Yap.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That's a fantastic
It's
name.
such a great
Yinja.
name. Yeah, he was maybe most famous at our school for, if I'm remembering it right, maybe he did, no, I can't. I mean, he's so handy to have in my thing that I do to get to sleep sometimes, going through the alphabet, going for first and second names with the same letter. For Y, Yinja Yap
Double Y is difficult.
is a slam dunk. But it's also, I've always just thought one of the great names, Yinja Yap.
I think that's a great name.
So
One that
good.
burnt in your brain forever for a reason.
Yeah. And if I can, I'd love to thank, from address unknown, can only assume from deep within the fortress of the moles. Thank you so much to Lisa Walker.
Now known as Sabine Slattery.
Sabine Slattery. Wow, that's a great
This
name.
is
The family had moved from Ireland to Australia.
no wonder.
And then I think she went on to the US.
We're surrounded by great names. It sounds like it's been that way our whole lives.
Yeah, there's some great ones.
I think both of you are killing it. I'm going to try and dig deep for this because
Okay.
It's just saying a lot about the diversity of Dave's school, you know what I mean? Very boring names.
Diversity of names.
yeah, pretty dull so far. But okay, here we go.
All right,
Chloe Calantis. That's a good.
That's
Calan.
great. No,
I've never come across that surname ever.
That's a great name.
That was
since.
nothing against those people. It's just purely against you. So next up, penultimately, from Bromley in Great Britain, Scott Willis.
Scott Willis, aka Carla Denali.
Oh, the
I take
rhythm
everything
on
back.
that.
I take everything back. That's a beauty.
That
That's
was
a beauty.
so bouncy. I loved it.
Yeah, that was nice.
Carly Denali. Carly Denala?
That's good stuff.
Is that right?
Carly Denali
Carly Denali.
is Carly Denala.
Carly Denala. That's so good. Carly Denala. Love
No,
that.
it's the other way around.
Oh my
I've
God.
confused it. It's Carla Denali.
Can I? Oh, that's the best of the three options.
Sorry. Yes, it's
Carla Denali is sick. Holy shit. Congratulations to all concerned. All right, I'm fully blanking my mind now.
okay. Here we go. Final name from Victoria, British Columbia, in Canada. Hello, thank you to Connor Gleason.
Okay, Githangeli Ashok Kumar.
What in the actual fuck?
Cathangeli. I love that.
No, shortened to Gee. She was real
That's
cool.
beautiful.
She got to our school, like, I think in grade 2 or 3. I'm like, something about her, so cool.
One of those effortlessly cool people.
Yeah,
I hate those
100%.
Hit me again with that full name.
people. Yeah.
Githangeli Ashok Kumar.
Oh,
God, that's good.
that is music.
So good.
So good. I hope none of those people minded us using their names. Hopefully,
No,
that didn't make you uncomfortable in any way.
well,
but
I tell you what, I bet you none of them are listening to this.
What are the
Based on
chances?
their names,
Yeah.
they're all doing some pretty important stuff. I imagine they're all, maybe someone will go in the NASA break room, they'll be like, I cannot believe it, but the whole team was referenced on this stupid podcast I listen to get to sleep.
yeah, this stupid sleep podcast. I listen to dumb Australians. It soothes me. Wow. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, everybody. And that just leaves us with the Triptych Club. The last thing we need to do is welcome. I think we got one inductee this week. Dave's so good at explaining what the Triptych Club's all about.
Yes, Matt, this is our clubhouse, our Hall of Fame. It's a bit of a theatre of the mind sort of stuff going on here where we welcome you into our space, our hangout zone, our restaurant, our club, our arcade, our dance floor, whatever you want it to be. It is that. These people that are being welcomed in this week, they've been supporting the show on the shout-out level or above for 3 consecutive years. They've already had a shout-out. They've already had a name or whatever given to them a couple of years back, but now they've stayed true. We're putting them up on the honour board, and we welcome them in one by one. But first of all, Jess is in charge of catering.
I actually misunderstood, even though we've been doing this for quite some time.
Yes.
I forgot to make a drink or a food special. I misunderstood. I've just actually put microphones in all the bathrooms.
Okay.
I misunderstood.
Have you-
I was just going to record everybody pissing and muttering to themselves.
Bob, this is not.
I could have sworn that's what you asked. I didn't know that I was supposed to be coming up with food or drinks or something. I thought,
Oh my God, no, that is not. Dave.
Oh, my God. But have you come across any confessions, just so you know?
Dave, I heard you before.
Oh, my God. Please don't take me out of context. begging as I'm on the toilet. God, please make it stop. Please, this hurts. This hurts.
I know I asked for flow before, but not like this.
Oh, God.
Need some of this liquid to remain.
Make it stop. I'm bleeding out here. For example.
For example,
yeah.
So yeah, I'll try and whip something out, but I'm underprepared.
Okay, no, I think that's a nice little addition you've made.
Okay.
To
You're not mad at me?
No.
Okay.
No, that's good. That's good work from you. And Dave, did you book a band?
Yes, you're never going to believe it. Obviously, I don't know what this topic was going to be because
Sorry, you paused so I could go, what? And I didn't. I'm sorry.
I didn't know that, Matt was going to do the topic on the famous Jinx.
Yeah.
You're never going to believe it because I just got an email this morning from the New York, I believe, new metal band Jinx, JYNX, who are performing tonight. They've just said yes.
Bloody hell, that's great.
We've got Jinx.
That's massive.
So looking forward to a bit of New York metal, and that's NU York metal. Pretty good stuff.
That is really good stuff, actually. So we've got one inductee.
Inductee,
more like it.
I was going to let it go.
And,
I'm loving it. From now on, they're all inductees.
and so the way this works is I'm on the door, I got the clipboard. Just one name on the list this week. It's a short guest list, but everyone who's already been inducted before, which I believe is something like 900 people, they're all in there. They're chanting the name. They're partying it up. We're welcoming you in with open arms because once you arrive, you're never allowed to leave, but why would you want to?
We've got everything you need, including mics in the toilets.
Dave's on stage. He's ready to hype you up. And no one's listening. It won't be for years before anyone actually goes through all the
I'm actually in the toilet on one of Jess's microphones.
Yeah.
So obviously people will hear this in a couple of years, but still.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Dave,
I'm ready.
So Dave, he really hypes up the inductees by doing a bit of, the biggest gift he can give is weak wordplay based on either their name or address.
He does a fantastic job.
Oh, my God. I'm looking at the one and I'm not going to be able to pronounce this.
My guess is that is in Poland.
Okay.
That's a guess.
It's a Polish name. All right. So, Dave, you ready?
Absolutely.
From Razuska in Poland, please welcome in Sandra Anita.
Look, I was just saying earlier that I need something. And I need a Sandra Anita. That makes sense.
You could have just stopped at I need a Sandra.
That's what you would normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine, whatever. Obviously, like the Jinx.
Wait, Dave, sorry, I forgot to set up. Jess is always supporting Dave.
Like the Jinx, edit what I said to make it make more sense. Okay?
Welcome in, Sandra.
Something. I need a Sandra.
Yeah.
Make yourself at home. Please enjoy the work of the Jinx at the after party. They're going to be fantastic.
Huge.
Well, that brings us into the episode. Is there anything we need to tell people before we go?
That we love them so much that they too can suggest a topic and be one of those precious people that gets mentioned at the start of a report. That could be you. If you come across something that you think's interesting, tell us about it. There's a link in the show notes. It's on our website, which is dogoonpod.com, and you can find us on social media as well. In case you've been listening for a while and you go, what do these freaks look like? You can find out, and it will be underwhelming.
Please follow us, hey, and like every post you see.
Like every post.
Matt Stewart Comedy, I hit 10,000. We said that on pod.
I don't know if we have.
Yeah, no, we did, because remember, you deleted 100 people for some reason.
Oh, that's right. Well, I made it again.
Truly psycho.
I made it back. I'm just addicted to crossing 10,000.
Any new people will be turned back at the border.
Chasing that rush.
Hey, we'll be back next week with another fantastic episode. But until then, I'll say thank you so much for listening, and goodbye.
Later.
Bye. See you later. I love you, Huru. Call me.
I did it. I did it. I killed them all.
Now at Verizon, we have some big news for your peace of mind. For all our customers, existing and new, we're locking in low prices for 3 years guaranteed on My Plan and My Home. That's future you peace of mind. And everyone can save on a brand new phone on My Plan when you trade in any phone from one of our top brands. That's new phone peace of mind. Because at Verizon, whether you're already a customer or you're just joining us, we got you. Visit Verizon today. Price guarantee applies to then current base monthly rate. Additional terms and conditions apply for all offers.
Hey, this is Josie Santi from the Every Girl podcast, and this episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dressed season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and your everyday wardrobe, discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy, too, with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
Don't forget to sign up to our tour mailing list so we know where in the world you are and we can come and tell you when we're coming there.
Wherever we go, we always hear 6 months later, oh, you should come to Manchester. We were just in Manchester.
We were just there, but this way you'll never miss out. And don't forget to sign up, go to our Instagram, click our link tree. Very, very easy.
It means we know to come to you, and you'll also know that we're coming to you.
Yeah, we'll come to you, you come to us. Very good.
And we give you a spam-free guarantee.